Welcome in, everyone. It is 28 January 2026. Setting up for DREAGUS Productions Wednesday show. Welcome in, everyone. It is 28 January 2026. Setting up for DREAGUS Productions Wednesday. That's right. And even if you get the echo, you'll still be listening to us. I'm going to be setting up for the Censorship Sucks Roundtable Radio Show right here, right now. And we're going to get things going here in just a little bit. So stick around. Hope everybody had a great weekend and a good start of the week. And we're going to take and get things going with to see how well everything is going. All right. We'll check with our folks with Censorship Sucks here in about a minute or so. And then I'll get them going for their pre-show. And when we're done tonight, I hope everybody has a great week. Finishes out the week awesomely. That's right. Still checking all the bells and whistles to make sure we're all good to go. Looks like all is going good. So that's a plus. Let me, there we go. That's what's on the agenda tonight, folks. So, let me get, John and Barry up and rolling for, pre-show. We'll do about 20-30 minutes of pre-show, and then, we'll get the regular show rolling after that. Welcome in, wherever you're at, wherever you may be. We appreciate each and every one of you out there. Hello, hello, hello. Are you there, John? David Hogg in the house.
Someone's house.
Yeah, there you go. How you been?
Yep.
You doing better?
Doing okay. Oh, yeah. I am happy that it is no longer below freezing.
Yeah. I mean, the weather broke here. It is supposed to get cool again over the weekend. Once again, but, I don't think it's going to get as cold.
Yeah, it's not.
There.
We're going to have a couple of near freezing nights, I think. But, nothing like before.
I mean, I loved our Indian summer, buddy.
Yeah.
Our Indian summer here was, really long and good.
Yep.
Looking for John. There he is. Hey, did you see my other little request?
Yeah, I did. I haven't touched him yet. So.
Yeah, whenever you get
a chance.
I
think I saw him this morning.
See if you can drop some to me before the weekend or something like that.
Okay.
All I got is where's Barry?
Yeah.
Well,
oh, yeah.
I mean,
it is funny how many Barry songs I have.
No, come on now.
Yep, it's either that or him touching people's no-no square. Yeah.
No. I don't have those. I didn't put those in the mix.
Well, I'll send you those then. Yeah.
Don't. All right. Don't. How'd you like the ones that I did?
They were good.
Yeah, I did a lot of Spanish ones, so in
Yeah.
Spanish, and I was like, man, I was, I couldn't believe how crisp and clean and just really good those came out.
Yeah, I was doing Japanese K-pop songs about Godzilla, and they'd come out in Japanese.
Yeah.
I'd have to I'd highlight the lyrics, throw them into Google Translate, and be damn. Yeah. Yep. One of the AIs that I use, the problem is when I started doing different languages, it would just throw languages into songs. So, it'd be English, but then one chorus or one verse would be like Spanish or French or something. It's like, oh, he likes that stuff.
Yeah,
Let's do it for him.
I don't want the French stuff, but the Spanish stuff because it's
It's
pretty
Juan
strong
Valdez.
around here, and I know what they're saying.
Yes. Yeah, I've learned Spanish through osmosis. Yeah.
Well, I had to learn it because my first wife was Dominican. All right, and I taught her English. She taught me Spanish, and I'm like, here we go.
Right.
Hey, John, how's it going?
He's muted. He's a bloody mute.
Oh no, not that.
He's probably pissing on a flat rock somewhere.
No, we're not going there. He gets mad at me when I do that. I'm like, no.
All right.
That's old. It's so yesterday. Right.
He's urinating on a smooth boulder. There you go. That way we're not saying pissing on a flat rock.
Right.
Hey, don't forget to turn your Starlink on there. See, I did him a favor. So let's see. Right now, we got the AI generating. Let's see. Here's the prompt. The prompt is, "You stole my heart faster than a Somali steals taxpayer money."
Oh yeah, there you go. You can do those.
Yep. Yeah. So it's going to do a 1990 feminist punk riot girl type song.
So, that's awesome.
Yep.
I thought maybe since we haven't heard too much from Gary and our handlers and that,
right,
you would do one about them, that way.
Yep.
Deb, I fixed that. You probably have too many players open right now if you still have an echo.
Echo.
Debbie,
how about Jesus is watching you and so is Gary?
Yeah.
We'll try that. Hey, he's no longer muted. Oh. Hey, he's no longer muted.
And there I got the because I opened the player up by accident because I was just checking through to see what was going on. Looks like everything's clean and clear here on my end, and we are rolling.
Paging Mr. Galt.
That guy.
Yeah, he's not even answering.
Must be that headset that Barry sent him.
Yeah, exactly. That's the problem is, all Barry stuff comes out of a dumpster. If it's not a dumpster, it's the bins or whatever. It's like something somebody found in a dumpster and then donated. So yeah, I do wonder how those secondhand hemorrhoid pillows are working out.
Okay, what's going on, guys?
There we go.
There he goes.
There you go.
Yeah.
See,
what type of mic are you using?
You what?
What type of mic are you using?
Regular kind of mic.
Okay, all right.
That I always use. Why?
Okay, it sounds like it's in the bottom of a cup.
No, he's fine. It's clear. It'll come out nice and clean.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, it's the same as always, man. Same as always.
Okay. All right. Maybe it's time to clean my ears out.
Yeah. Do that at least once a year, man.
Yeah, or maybe I should stop using the Dixie Cup Temu headphones.
Temu headphones? That's not good. That is not good at all, buddy. Stop.
Yeah, don't worry. I'm not using Temu headphones. Yeah. You get some weird ear fungus or something. Yep, I'm not. I'm using the same headphones I've always used. Isn't Barry supposed to be here today? Does Barry know he's supposed to be here?
Yeah.
Does Barry have? Barry's got power. He didn't have any storm issues, I don't think. I mean, he has gas, so he can still cook his fried bologna sandwiches. I mean, that's the only reason to miss the show, right? Yeah, Mark, you get just more fans for your PC.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I was thinking a water cooler next.
Oh, there you go. Yes, with the clear tubing.
Yeah.
And yeah, little LED lights going through it.
No, I don't want any more lights. Actually, I want to remove the lights. I don't like the lights.
Bullhorn says, tell Mark to invite me in.
Oh, my God. Really?
I tell you.
Was he in the lobby?
I'm guessing it's a message. He says, "Tell Mark to let me."
He just doesn't know how to join the call yet. It's only been a couple years now.
Yeah, I mean, it's not his first rodeo, but apparently it's his first Teams call. By the way, I'm going to start going to rodeos. I'm going to sell T-shirts that says, "This is my first rodeo."
Really?
Yeah, I just think There's Barry.
Radio.
Hey, Barry, what's up?
Radio.
I'm setting up. It's going to be a few minutes, man. Hang with me.
All right. Okay, we're all hanging.
Oh, yeah.
I'm hanging to the left, personally.
I was going to say, what are you hanging to, man?
Yeah, just to the left. Just to the left.
I had to fix my camera so no one would see me adjust. So, anyways.
Are you leaning to the left now, man? Are you pulling a what was that girl's name that used to date Elon Musk that was a big right-wing influencer? Now she says she's woke left.
Yeah, well, if you use the other hand, it's like you're cheating on yourself.
Oh. I don't know if you've caught it, but I've been doing a lot of the AI radio music here lately. Most of it David's made, but some of it's from me and Roger. Roger Hansen's made some, and Nancy has too. So if you get and you hear that, if you're on Kick and it's flipped up over on, I think it's called Future Radio or something like that. You'll hear all the great tunes that folks have made for me through AI.
I would kill myself before I'd listen to an AI radio station.
No, it's music. It's just music,
Yeah. Now, see, the cool thing is when you use the AI to make music for yourself, you are listening to something that no one has heard before.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It comes into existence, and then you can choose whether or not to delete it or to pollute someone else's brain with it.
I'm letting my bank build up on Suno right now.
Have you tried producer.ai?
You'll have to send that to me later, and I'll try it.
Okay. You just kind of speak to it in English, and it'll like spit out something, and then it'll like give you suggestions, or you can say, like I was doing, more cowbell. After about 100 times, it finally caught on. And then it started talking like Christopher Walken about having a fever that'll only be cured with more cowbell. I'm like, yeah, you finally got it.
Christopher Walken.
Yeah.
We need to get some intros with Christopher Walken.
There you go.
There I was walking through the snow.
Yep. In a one-horse open sleigh. and over the fields they go, laughing.
All the way.
The way. Yep.
What are you
I
doing,
do
William
like
Shatner?
the 11 Labs AI music. You can tell it to do it in someone's voice, and it'll do it. That's the only thing good about the 11 Labs music AI. But it's too expensive as far as I'm concerned.
Can it do a good?
I was super considering you. Go ahead, Barry.
I was just gonna say, can it do a William Shatner spoken word? Because that's the best, man.
That would be. All I tried was Alex Jones, and it did a really good job.
Yeah.
Yep.
He did. Oh, you did Art Bell too with it.
No, that wasn't the music portion. That was just their text to speech, which is really good, and it does do a really good William Shatner and everything, but that's separate from the music.
Yeah, we only use dead people when we.
Yeah, there you go.
Other than Alex Jones. Alex Jones, he's the only one that we use that's alive yet,
Yep. So, you better stay in good health or we're going to steal your voice.
That's right. But
like the Little Mermaid plot, but only different.
Nimoy, if you're listening from the grave, you're next.
Yep. Oh, yeah. We actually have a Leonard, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I think I have a Leonard.
You guys, Barry, how cold is it up there where you're at?
It's so cold he's frozen.
Oh, man. When it got cold in that, my internet actually slowed down a little bit because, I figured that the light inside the fiber optics got too cold. Just like water going through the pipes.
Well, once it hits absolute zero, things start to slow down.
I don't know if that's how the speed of light works, Mark.
No, I'm just saying. No, what happened probably is so many people were using it because, they didn't have work or school and things like that it was bogging the whole system down.
Maybe your router was just frozen. Your router might have just been frozen.
In my room, man. It's nice and toasty in here always.
All right. Well, so much for that theory.
I'm not like
your neighbor's stealing your Wi-Fi.
A Faraday cage on the around the room and that, and putting the router outside and then just piping it in.
Yeah, he puts his cell phone in the microwave, and
Mike, check.
Check, Mike.
There you go.
Where's Mike? I don't even see Mike. Mike's not even here.
It's Thugs and Miss Trashes in the Kick Chat. Thank you all for coming in.
Speaking of AI, I think I like Higgsfield for video right now. I think I'm definitely digging Higgsfield right now.
Yeah?
Yeah, they've got that cinema setting. That cinema, I don't want to call it setting. It's more of a cinema studio.
Right.
And you get to pick the camera. You get to pick the lens. You like you can pick an Arri. You can pick a red camera. You can pick all these, $40,000-$50,000 lenses, virtual, and it's just, man. I mean, it's pretty close to. I don't want to say it's not. It's as close to real as you can get right now, I think.
Yeah.
It looks pretty good, man. It's very convincing.
Yeah, well, when you're making fake videos of ICE beating up protesters, you really want to make sure you got their red camera,
Well, either that or just do a 9x16 and make it look like a bad iPhone.
Yeah,
that's exactly the way to do it. Yeah.
That's a lot easier to do it than to try to make it look super stellar.
Yep. And then once it's done, you add the screeching harpy filter, and then it really sounds like it was there.
Oh, yeah.
Here's one for you, David.
Where's your warrant? Yes, sir. What?
Here's one for you. We need to, get a song for Willie doing a naked bike race where he's like Evel Knievel jumping over the ICE agents.
There you go. And everything was fine until the seat fell off.
Yeah.
Yep. And they discovered the joy of naked bike riding.
Debbie Perkins is listening to us on Facebook right now.
I'm sorry, Debbie.
Hey, Debbie.
I'm so sorry.
She's going to have you back on. I know it, David.
No.
By the way, John, have you ever... I don't think you've been on her show yet.
Mr. Galt.
Yeah.
Oh, me?
Yeah. Have you been on the Debbie Perkins show?
Have you?
I mean, you've hosted before.
Sure. I might have. I know she's been on mine. I might have been on hers once.
I don't think so. I'll have to get with her. She's got John Asuna coming up, and Michael Chang for next month. So
cool.
We'll get you in there somewhere.
Yeah, I'd do that. I'd be happy to.
Yeah.
She's nice. We like her.
There you go.
Let's see. I think I've actually got a really nice diversity of articles to cover tonight, instead of like 15 on one thing.
You're not going to do 15 articles on the guy squirting the stuff onto Ilhan Omar?
No, I don't even have one of those up.
Wow.
Open with the bananas and rice thing, so that should come up early.
Okay.
Bananas.
Did you see somebody took the bananas and rice speech and put it over Ilhan Omar's town hall? It's hilarious.
No.
Yes.
No.
It's hilarious. Yep.
I've got a meme on my feed of ICE agents putting bananas and rice into bear traps in Minneapolis.
Nice. That's how to catch a Somali right there.
Yeah.
Yep. I keep trying to get AI to generate Biggie Somali. You know, Biggie Smalls, but Somali. And it just doesn't seem to get it. It just does some black guy.
Just give it a huge forehead. That's the key.
Yeah, exactly. I even told it head like a light bulb, and it's just ignored it.
See, very long fingers that say, I am the captain.
Yes. Yeah, I am the captain now. Exactly.
Somewhere
So,
you got to
I don't know where
have
it's
Wanda
having a hard
Sykes
time.
in there too with it. Doing something on the street corner.
Yep. I guess I could take the little girl from Small Wonder and do Somali Wonder.
Little Wonder from
Yep.
from David Bowie. Little Wonder.
Oh, there you go. But it's got to have the small part so I can do the Somali.
What's the one question that women have to know in order to go out with you on a date? This is like the number one thing now. Take a guess.
Oh, they want to know your political affiliation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like 41% of women will not go out with you if you are not on the same political wavelength.
Well, you know, that's a good thing, actually, because, you know.
Oh, yeah. For us, especially. I don't want to date some leftist and find out later that she's a man or something. I don't know.
You don't want to find out the hard way, yeah.
So it's just, yeah.
You're right. I mean, you know, it's just going to cause problems down the road anyway.
Yeah.
Right?
So the man's primary question is, do you have a penis?
Perhaps.
Yeah. Yeah.
Honestly, if they can tell me 6 times 8, I'm pretty impressed. I'm pretty willing to just move forward with this thing.
Oh, I
don't know.
I figured you would go down a list of how many states in the country are there?
Exactly.
Who's on the dollar bill?
Yep.
Which
What's your
presidents
favorite
are
state?
not on
Intoxication.
which presidents are not on the on paper money? You know?
Yep.
Name
if I had a
country in the
dozen
world with yellow
eggs, how many
license
eggs would I have? You know.
How many pennies in a dime?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's buried
Which
in
is
Greeks, too?
Which is more, 6 or half a dozen?
Hey, man. Don't try to twist their minds, man. It's not fair. Play fair at least.
I know.
A quarter till the
They're
hour
dealing with-
means
they're
what
dealing with
in
the handicap.
digital time?
Yep. Yeah. My primary question is, do you have daddy issues? Because if they do, I got a chance.
You do, I got it. Not good being married to a lawyer.
Yeah. Yep. Hopefully she got her headphones on. Can't hear. But if you hear a loud bang and I stop talking, you know what happened. Yeah.
Frying pan.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Tang.
I think I'm close enough that I'll see you in the obits one of these days.
Oh yeah. It'll have my real name and then in parentheses David Hogg.
Yeah, mine, and then
mine's David
bracketed
Hogg. Yeah.
Mine's capital letters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Hyphen, not that hog. Yeah.
Wow. So quiet.
Yeah, everybody's taking a break.
Yeah.
Smoke if you got them.
I do the whole show and then some. Ah!
Probably all agree, though, that the MAGA derangement, the TDS derangement is in full force again. I think it's going to be worse this time around than the first time around.
Well, yeah, because they're cornered.
Yeah, I mean, they're acting like complete and total loons at this point, man. I mean, they're all
we're shipping out their voter base. We're sending them all home. Mm-hmm. You know? And it's so, yeah, they're going to fight tooth and nail now because basically their power is on the line. So.
That's right.
Yeah. It's just going to get crazier. It's going to be a wild ride.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we're talking about, you know, it's almost like they want some sort of unified military front to fight against Trump, MAGA, and ICE. That's what
they want, a civil war because that's their only way out. Sure. You know, because it's going to look bad.
If they don't get the House or the Senate, they're going to be flipping out. The next year is going to be crazy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Because if they at least get the House, they can impeach Trump and feel like they did something. But if they can't even do that, they're going to be like, they're going to flip out.
I see failure awaiting them, and them not faring well with that.
Well, if they ever get back in power again, they're going to come after each and every one of us. They've already said that.
Every single one of us, man. Yeah, that's what Molly Ring got through saying, too. They have the Holly Weirdos repeating the talking points now.
I saw that.
And she's like, we're going to come after each and every single one of you that supported ICE, and you're going to be indicted and charged with treason, man.
Yep.
And I'm like, I don't think so. I think the only people that are getting ready to be charged with treason is the deep state, man. I mean, I'm still one of those people that believe it's coming. I really do, man. There's no way it can't come, because if Trump doesn't do it, it's over for him. It's over for his family. It's over for America. He'll get rid of Pam Bondi if she's the person that's standing in the way.
Right.
But you know Trump, he always likes to give somebody a chance, give him the benefit of the doubt. He's too nice, man.
He ought to take a move from the Joe Biden playbook and get a vice president that is a female person of color. So I say Candace Owens.
No.
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 No?
No. You know what's happening to Candace? Right, she got a lobotomy from the deep state, and they basically hacked her mind with the Neuralink. There's something going wrong with her, man.
Neuralink.
I saw it in the new latest Alex Jones video, where they put together an AI video where Alex Jones plays Charlton Heston in the Planet of the Apes,
right?
And he's with Candace Owens, and he's screaming. He's upset because they hacked her mind, and they have her sitting standing next to Trump, and she's looking all like she's out of her mind, and you can see where her brain's been cut open. It's totally funny and crazy.
Well, but I'm not going to mock that, because Alex Jones has been right before, so it could happen.
But man, I mean, she's arguing over stupid. She's still arguing over Charlie Kirk stuff, man.
Oh yeah.
As of today, she's having arguments about, while the world is on fire and America's future's at stake, she's arguing. She's not real, dude. She's not legit.
Well, she still hasn't shown that Macron's wife's got a penis. You know.
She's being sued, I heard, from Macron.
Right, fellas.
Yeah.
We got to take and head out of this room and come right back. All right?
All right. Y'all have a good show.
Appreciate it.
All right. All right, folks. We'll be right back. That was the Censorship Sucks Roundtable Radio Show pre-show. And here we go with the live portion of the show.
Am I in the right room?
Yeah, you're in the right room.
Okay, how did I get in?
Because you just joined.
I didn't click anything, man. That was what weird.
Yeah,
I don't know how I got in.
Let me get John in here.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Get ready to go. 30 seconds.
Yeah, we've been cutting these to the last second lately.
Yeah, because I get distracted and I got a lot of clicks and stuff. I'm like, oh, here's your countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you are live and on the radio side for the first time tonight, right now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Censorship Sucks Roundtable Radio Show, Wednesday night edition for January 28th, 2026. With me tonight, we got Bullhorn Barry in the house. What's going on, Barry?
How you doing, my friend?
Doing awesome. Doing awesome. It's good to have you on board, as always.
Absolutely. Good to be here.
All right. So what's going on, man? I'll tell you, I am getting ready to make me some dinner. You know what I'm going to have tonight?
Chicken and rice.
No, bananas and rice.
Really?
I got inspired.
Okay. This people in Minnesota, the Somalians?
Yeah. Didn't you see that lady doing the speech the other day, the crazy one with the big Band-Aid on her head?
The one that made absolutely zero sense, and I'm still trying to figure out what she had to say?
Yeah, but she did a nice little diatribe about bananas and rice, and so I've got it. I'm on board, man. I got to try that.
Yeah. I'm just wondering, are they dried bananas or fried bananas or just raw bananas?
I think just raw bananas. I don't know, you know? And do they use soy sauce, or is that just an Asian thing? Like, do they have their own sauce?
I was going to say, is there soy sauce involved? Because if so, maybe it's not bad.
I don't know, man. The more I think about it, the soy sauce and banana, I mean, have you ever seen that combo anywhere in the universe in your entire life? No, I haven't. Can't recall either. I've seen like banana and chocolate and caramel and banana and strawberry, you know, a lot of good things out there, but never soy sauce.
It's got to be something you have to try, I think.
Yeah. It turns out they arrested that lady today. Over obstruction of justice.
Okay. Was she like getting in the way of ICE?
Yeah. And apparently the whole press conference, everything she did was just a bunch of garbage. You know?
Yeah.
All the bandages she had on yesterday were gone, and there was nothing there, no sign of any mark or scars or bumps or bruise or anything. You know? Like just, you know, huge Band-Aid across your head, and now it's not there, and you look fine.
Like maybe it was staged, kind of like the Omar thing that looks like another Jussie Smollett thing, where he sprayed apple cider vinegar on her. I mean, that thing looks so staged, and that guy looked like a Democrat. If there ever was somebody that fit the woke left, it's that guy. He looks like he's woke. That guy doesn't look like a Trump supporter at all.
Yeah. Okay, so for anyone who missed this, today Ilhan Omar was doing a press conference in Minneapolis, and out of nowhere, some deranged dude comes at her with what looked like, in one of the still photos I saw, it looked like a syringe, like a pretty good-sized one. and he squirted something at her. Whether this thing had a needle on it or just like some plastic tip or something, I don't know. But it apparently was a very stinky liquid. It smelled very bad.
Right.
And one of our security guys came out of nowhere and just, tackled the guy basically, not to the ground, but, got him in a bear lock and walked him off the stage. And she was up there saying, I don't care. Let's go. You're not going to stop me. I'm not afraid. Let's keep going. Meanwhile, a lot of people in the audience were like, yo, man, what was that stuff? You should go to a hospital right now and get checked out.
Yeah, she reacted like the whole thing was just staged. Like she could say, I am strong. Look, nothing's going to stop us. Nothing's going to stop our resistance. We're bold. We're brave. But if it was a real threat, she would have been probably whisked away and taken to the hospital, at least for some kind of a check to make sure it wasn't, like anthrax laced or something like that.
Yeah, she's a house member, man. Like, you got to have some sort of like quasi Secret Service, Capitol Police or whatever nearby that are like, yo, man, let's get you. Like, you need to go to the hospital right now. We're not going to let you just die on our watch while we're, in charge here. If that is, some sort of a deadly poison, you've got minutes to, get in there. You can't just have 5 more minutes to sit up here and talk to everybody. But I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying it was fake. It, like you say, it kind of looked and felt it a little bit, but it very well could have been, a genuine threat. Now, who would want to go after her? Anyone on the right? I don't know. I mean, we all think she's a moron, but I don't think there's a lot of animosity to want to kill her. It's just deport her, sure, but hurt her? No.
Right. Yeah. I agree, man. Something's fishy about that. I mean, the moment I saw it, I was like, this is some of the worst acting I've ever seen. It's awful. Just that guy, the way he got up and the way he looked. I mean, it was like they just looked for somebody that would, they didn't even get an actor. If that's the case, right? If you're going to fake something, get an actor that can act. Get somebody that's convincing. But nothing that the left does anymore is very convincing. It's all just like everything about it just reeks disingenuous. Everything reeks about it lie. Everything reeks about it fake, fraud. I don't know. I don't think they see that, but I think most people that are looking at things objectively with an open mind are going, man, there's something really wrong with a lot of people on the far left.
Yeah. And I mean, my first thought is, okay, if this is fake, that guy's got a lot of explaining to do to actual police officers, you know what I mean? To actual DAs, to actual judges, because they're not just going to be like, good job, go home now, right? The guy's going to jail after that. He ain't coming home tonight, Yeah,
I think what happens to him will be a good indicator as to, like, was the guy legit or was this just and I heard, again, I don't know yet. I guess it's too early to know all the details, but what I heard was it was apple cider vinegar, so I don't know. It looked like apple cider vinegar. It was kind of that color, like apple juice or something. But
yeah, I don't know, man. The way the lady was saying it stinks, that stinks. You'd think apple cider vinegar would, like, be at least moderately recognizable, Like, hey, that smells like vinegar, man. Who knows what that is?
Well, if it's the stuff that stinks, that's the kind of stuff they do at the woke rallies. Remember, they sprayed that stinky stuff before. I remember they sprayed on Alex Jones, and it ended up going on Owen Schroyer one time. That stuff stunk forever. I mean, it's just, they do milkshakes, the cement milkshakes. They do the pepper spray. They do the stink bombs. They do all kinds of just dirty tricks. That's not what the right does. The right just goes out there and defends themselves and defends other people that they're attacking.
Yeah, right side protests, man, they don't even have them that much in this country. You know what I mean? Unless it's a Trump rally, you can't just openly go out in the streets and say, we're going to do a march in support of Donald Trump on Friday down Main Street in, middle America City. You can't do it. The left can do that, but the right can't even do that anymore in today's society. It's too dangerous.
Now, especially like in a liberal area, forget about it. You could probably do it in Tulsa, Oklahoma and get away with it. But don't try that in Portland. Don't try that in San Francisco. Don't try that in New York City. They've got too many bad apples over there, and they'll crash it, man. Then of course, in self-defense, people will react, but then the media will actually focus in on the people reacting in self-defense and say they were the ones that started it. Just like you had that guy out there at, I forget where it was at, but I mean, we can play the clip at some point in time if you want to, but he was being accosted by a bunch of, anti-ICE people, being restrained, and the mainstream media was actually there on site reporting. He's like, hey, don't you want to report this? They're assaulting me. They are physically assaulting me. Hey, and they literally packed up their tripods and walked away the moment they saw that they want to report the protest is completely peaceful. And then that same guy clipped that together with the actual news broadcast, and they painted it exactly as that, a peaceful protest, while he was being physically assaulted.
Yeah.
Think about that.
I mean, even something as organic and natural and sad and disheartening and tragic as the assassination of Charlie Kirk, how many vigils were out there where people were, coming up to the back end of them and starting to scream, he deserved it, and, you all need to die too. I mean, just the most horrible things. People running around kicking vigils apart, kicking flowers on the ground, candles, knocking them over, breaking them. Anything they could to disrupt the memorialization of Charlie Kirk, who was so beloved to so many people on the right. I can't even think of anyone as impactful on the left as Charlie Kirk was to the right, and they disrupted. There were prayer vigils in Portland before Charlie Kirk, in the months before it. I remember there was a big one there, and it got just ransacked with Antifa. And all they wanted to do was go into the middle of the city and have a prayer afternoon out in the open, in the public. But you can't do it. It's too dangerous. And they'll get wind of it, and it doesn't matter what you're there to pray for or against or whatever. We're going to pray that all the hungry kids get fed this year. We're going to spend a day and just pray on that. They will come and tear your crap up because you're perceived to be against them. Because you believe in religion. You're probably right wing. I mean, look at that church they stormed the other day in Minnesota. They, had some idea or whatever that one of the pastors there might have had, a friend or something that was part of ICE or some affiliation with ICE. And so they felt it was okay to storm into that church in the middle of a service and disrupt it with Don Lemon. Disgusting stuff. Disgusting.
Yeah. Remember during the first term, Donald Trump's first term, they were having a prayer service out, because there was a lot of stuff going on. Antifa was turning violent, BLM was turning violent, and this prayer, this Christian group was out there just in a little circle praying for peace and that kind of thing. And they came over and assaulted one of the, few of the people, but one of the people that they assaulted, believe it or not, was a transgender that was a part of the prayer group. So which just proves that they don't, they're not fighting for transgenders, because if they were, they'd be fighting for transgenders on the right as well as on the left. This is all political. Like, they don't care about gay people, they don't care about black people, and they certainly don't care about transgenders. They only care about people that are aligned with their radical leftist, communist, globalist, socialist agenda.
And that's what people in power need to learn really quick, especially like the Elizabeth Warrens and, people in that sort of a camp that aren't necessarily as totally radical as these kids are today. They will run you over. They will burn you down. They will throw you into the garbage faster than you can blink if you step aside and deviate from one iota of the messaging. One iota. Yep. And, it's a lesson they're going to have to learn the hard way. It really is, because they're playing with fire, and that fire is going to burn you.
I have no doubt that these people hate, first of all, America, what it stands for and what it is, and they hate all of us American patriots equally. And the question is, how far does that hatred go? I think for a lot of them, or at least for many of them, they have, violent bloodlust towards us. And this is seen and being evident in a lot of the videos that some of these people are putting out on X, man. They're violent. Their videos are, they kind of do it in code so that if they get arrested, they can maybe weasel their way out of it. But it's pretty clear that they're calling for violence against ICE and against MAGA. And then they're so deranged, they say, we've got to arm up which they don't even believe in the Second Amendment, because they said the MAGA people are going to get tired of us because they just see us as a bunch of evil communists that need to be eliminated, and they're going to open fire on us, which is never going to happen. That's not who we are. So they're just making up things from delusions, from literal delusions in their mind, right?
Yeah.
So that they can hate us even more and then feel justified when they do physically assault us or even murder us.
Yeah. Well, Molly Ringwald put out a video, and I saw some of it. It sounds like you watched more of it than I did based on some of the things you were saying she said that I didn't even get to, She was kind of annoying back in the day, you know what I mean? Kind of person who would just always be miserable, and then you'd sort of like walk away, and she'd be like, well, where are you going? I'm not done complaining yet, and haven't told you that you're all going to die and go to, get put under execution when they take power back. I mean,
Right.
She literally put out a video that said, any MAGA support, anyone who supports what's happening now, you're guilty of, what did she call it?
Treason.
Treason.
Mhm.
By association.
Yeah, if you supported ICE, we're going to basically, I guess, round you up and, indict you and hold you accountable for treason. I mean, it's nuts. They're desperate. They're not in any kind of a position to threaten anybody. It's the deep state that's going to be under investigation, and perhaps some of them may have to face treason charges. We'll have to wait and see about that. But it's certainly not people that believe in upholding the rule of law, which basically, by the way, Obama did, Bill Clinton did, George Bush did. I mean, they all did it. Trump has deported less people than Obama did. There was like 56 people that died under ICE's custody under the Obama administration. You never heard me getting upset about that. I'm just now finding out about it. If I knew about it, and maybe I did know about it and complain, because I think that's horrendous, right? 56 people dying under the care of ICE.
Yeah.
That's nuts. I mean, that's all through FOIA request as well. That's documented. I did fact check that, by the way, to make sure that was true.
Yeah, it's like they say Trump put kids in cages, but who built the cages, right? They always used to ask, who built the cages? Obama built the cages. Because you know what? They had something on the laws that said basically you just can't let any old stranger come in with kids. You got to make sure those kids actually have some relationship to the person bringing them over the border into the United States.
Right.
Right? You call it family separation. It's family verification. We don't want pedophiles and sickos bringing kids out of Mexico, kidnapping them off the streets, and then bringing them to the U.S. to sex traffic.
Right.
We don't want that. That's no good for anybody. 300,000 kids disappeared under Joe Biden's administration. Into the ethos. Came into America never to be seen again. Now, they found many, many, many of those kids, but most of them are still just gone in the wind somewhere. God only knows how many of them are even alive, or how many of them wish death on a daily basis. That's the sad part.
Yeah, I don't even know that they're in safe hands. Trump has said it more than once that many of them, in fact, he said one particular time, most of them are probably dead. Now, I don't know what he knows that we don't know, or maybe he's just using hyperbole to stress how awful of a situation that it is. But if that's true, man, all of that's going to have to come out. And I mean, when you're just letting, like you said, everybody just come over unchecked, right? I mean, the disaster that comes from that, right? The sheer evil that comes, only a moron, an imbecile, or somebody who wanted that to actually happen would do something like that.
Yeah. But I mean, we talk about the violence on the left. We had this nurse this last week wishing that Caroline Leavitt would suffer all kinds of, very specific issues with her birth.
Yeah.
And she lost her license. Good on the attorney general down there to do that. They lost her license, as she should. If you're going to wish that kind of agony on someone, at least you shouldn't be working in the healthcare industry. If somebody comes in and they've got a Trump, red hat on, and they got a bullet through their chest, are you going to give them the same treatment you would if they had a Biden hat on and a bullet in their chest? You're not.
Some nurses are saying that they're not going to, that they're going to ignore you. That's just documented now. So we see that happening.
Yeah.
One of those nurses that said that, and she also said to go ahead and take a syringe if you're a nurse and fill it with some sort of, I don't know, some sort of stuff that will paralyze you temporarily.
I think that was an anesthesiologist who said that, a separate case, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. I don't know how to pronounce it, but essentially what it would do is give them temporal paralysis, which I mean is just like, I mean, you're literally assaulting somebody in the worst possible, most terrifying way, and they don't even think twice about this, right? You know?
Yeah.
It's nuts, man. I mean, we have to come to the conclusion that, I mean, TDS is back, right? Trump derangement syndrome is back stronger than ever. You had, what's the guy's name that was in Super Mario? He's the Latino guy. I can't think of his name.
Oh, yeah, I think I know who you're talking about. That I haven't heard from him in years, man. Yeah, he's a kind of nobody nowadays.
Well, he said, don't
come to my comedy
shows. He said, if you support ICE, don't come to my comedy shows. Don't watch my movies. I'm like, dude, nobody's watching your movies anyway. Hollywood,
you're not funny anymore.
It's done. It's over. Nobody likes you guys anymore. You're unpopular, but they're literally so narcissistic, right? That they literally believe they still hold sway and influence. It's really disgusting, man. But hey, it's going to come as a rude awakening when that red carpet just ripped out from underneath them and they're flipping burgers at Burger King. I mean, they're going to be like, what happened? Well, we tried to tell you, you're on a downfall.
Yeah. But now we also had that attorney general in North Carolina in the special election recently who actually won a seat, who was fantasizing about his opponent's kids dying in her arms so that she could feel the pain of what guns do to people. Wishing that on someone. Now we've got a Democrat candidate for Ohio attorney general who is actually clarifying his statements when he said he wanted to see President Trump dead. Said, quote, I want to tell you what I mean when I say what I'm going to kill Donald Trump, Forum said. I mean, I'm going to obtain a conviction rendered by a jury of his peers at a standard proof beyond reasonable doubt, based as evidence, blah, 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 with requirements of due process resulting in a sentence of duly execution and capital punishment. That's what I mean when I was saying when I wanted to kill Donald Trump. This guy's running for Attorney General of Ohio. This isn't California or some crazy, far red state or far, liberal state. It's Ohio, which has voted for, Trump, I think, several of the last elections. And 2 of 3 of them at the very least. And yet this is somehow out there. It's somehow out there. And they say that the right is dangerous. We're the ones that have the rhetoric. When all we're doing is repeating what they say. After they killed Charlie Kirk, they assassinated him in cold blood in front of the world. And they call us the party of violence. So whatever happened to Ilhan Omar today, whatever. Was it staged? Who knows? Was there anything in there more than vinegar? Probably not. Right?
Yeah. I mean, this is systemic, dude. This is not just like random stuff. It's happening all the time now. You had that lawless Democrat DA, I believe he's out of Ohio. I've heard that he's a George Soros guy. But he said, we're going to hunt down ICE exactly like they hunted down the Nazis if we have to. He said that.
Is this the same guy?
No, this is a different guy. This is a guy that's actually is a DA. He's a sitting DA. And we can come back and play that the next. We'll play it in the next.
So meet the new guy, same as the last guy.
Pretty much. I mean, they're all lunatics. Pretty much. I mean, they're all saying crazy stuff, dude. I mean, like ICE doing their legal and lawful job that they have always done, and this DA is treating ICE like they're Nazis, and we're gonna hunt them down. He said for decades. He said, we'll find out who you are, and we're going to hunt you down just like they hunted down the Nazis for decades. We're going to get every last one of you. These people are nuts.
Yeah. Now, apparently part of the deal that Trump made with Waltz and Frey is that he's only going to be deporting from this point forward criminal illegal aliens, people who have committed or have some sort of a conviction in the past. So they're wanted in their country of origin or here or whatever, conviction gone. And that should tone it down. Apparently, they're going to be cooperating with detention centers as well, which is a big thing. If you can get them at the detention center, you don't need to go out into the suburbs and track them down on those streets. You can safely take them from a prison. And so if all that happens, Minneapolis might be calming down. And Trump made a really good point. This didn't happen in Washington, D.C. This didn't happen in Memphis. It didn't happen in any of the cities that Trump has gone into already. And he's gone through several. This is only happening in Minneapolis because the government there has put in place an apparatus to organize with these signal chats to pay people, to get NGOs that go in there with money to pay people to work shifts to go agitate. And this Preddy guy who was shot the other day, it just came out that he had an altercation with ICE a week earlier where he broke his rib. He got his rib broken in the altercation. And I watched that altercation. Did you see that, Barry?
I didn't see the altercation, but I did read about it happening.
He's walking up to the side, well, screaming, bloody murder, running up to the side, spitting in the windows at the police officers, at the ICE agents. Then as they're trying to pull away, he kicks out their rear light, the back light, kicks it out, completely shatters the whole thing, breaks it. And then they get out, tackle him down to the ground, kind of hold him there for a minute or two while he's armed with a weapon on his hip. And ultimately they get up, get back in the car, and leave him there while he was armed. That is so dangerous that they would have done that. But that's what they did. And that's his 1 week earlier, the altercation he had with ICE. This guy is an agitator. He was asking for it at every point. If you go fight cops, you're going to die. But on that note, folks, we've got to take a break. This is the Censorship Sucks Roundtable Radio Show. Stay tuned. We got a lot more for you right after this.
Talk about fast.
Good job, CS, man. Coverage there.
That was great.
You know what's keeping a lot of that going is you have some of these officials literally saying that ICE is not law enforcement. So once you take that label away from them, then these are crooks and criminals, and the people feel like they can go ahead. I just saw a video on X today of just happened, I guess today, where somebody they were arresting some illegal, and a bunch of people came in and tried to rescue the person being arrested. And why are they doing it? Because they go, in their mind, they're not legitimate. But who gave them that idea?
Yeah.
It's super dangerous. Like, this whole thing is very well coordinated, man. So coordinated. It's like you were talking about with the signal chat and stuff. I'm concerned about it, and I don't believe Tim Walz. Give me a break. That guy, he's not going to keep any deal. That guy's a crook, in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
He's not going to keep any deal. And that Frey guy, he's not going to keep a deal. He's the same guy that's literally said, I want my police to fight ICE out on the streets. What does that mean? How do you fight ICE out on the streets?
That's exactly what he said.
I mean, yeah, what other kind of fight can you do?
Yeah, I mean, it's not confusing.
I mean, it's just nuts. So I don't trust either one of those guys. And I think Trump, he's doing the right thing by giving them that opportunity. And then when they fail, it'll just bring more people over to MAGA. I mean, why do you think Nicki Minaj all of a sudden is, Trump's #1 fan, she said?
Yeah, see, we're going to talk too much politics in the break, and I'm not going to know what I covered and what I didn't.
Yeah,
Barry,
don't worry about it.
Did you find any good deals lately?
I have, and well, you probably know about the last one I got. I was on my walk, and I got like a 4-foot-tall Super Mario plush.
Really?
Oh yeah.
They sell for about $300, so that was free, and that's $300 free profit. So I'm pretty stoked about that. That was a good deal, and I find something at least every month. I probably, like I said, I make an extra $1,200 or $1,500.
If you ever come across Minecraft plushies, my daughters collect those, so let me know.
I just sold a Pokemon plush for $100 on eBay. It was about a 12-incher. It wasn't a big one.
Yeah, I want to get my son a Furby because he wants a dog.
Got a couple of Furbies. They're in storage. I have to dig them out, but I think they're worth a little bit of money as well. I've got the original old ones, like the first generation.
Oh, so they'll actually have the original words with.
Yeah. I've got the talking ones, man.
Yeah.
Electric ones, one that have batteries in their eyes, blink and stuff. If I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Something like
that. And you feed them and.
I don't know about that. I don't think they were that advanced. That's you're talking about the robots, man. Dude, I watched this animation on on Roku, on one of the free channels. And it's, I guess, from Japan or one of those places. And even in Japan, they're promoting the globalist propaganda in their movies, man. The whole movie is about accepting robots, giving them like humanity, giving them rights, and they're being mistreated. They're being mistreated by the humans, and so they set up this coffee house that's secret and kind of underground, where basically humans and robots can come together, but nobody tells who's who because the robots look just like people. You can't really tell just, right off bat. So nobody says I'm a robot. Nobody says I'm a human. And they all just get along happy, and it's wonderful and it's beautiful. And I'm like, it was a cool movie. I love anime and I was enjoying it, but I was just like
30 seconds, guys.
It was 100%
I don't mean to interrupt you. Keep going right up until, the countdown.
Yeah. It was just propaganda, dude. It's everywhere. They want us to accept the robots.
Wow, we're doing pretty good tonight. We got 45 people in the chat already. And Kick
Which
alone.
chat?
Yeah, Kick alone.
On Kick, cool.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great for
normally
Kick.
We average about 20. But here's your countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you're live and on the radio side right now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Censorship Sucks Roundtable Radio Show, Wednesday night edition, January 28, 2026. And, of course, on the mic, we've got none other than Bullhorn Barry.
Hey, what's up, man? Things are heating up.
I don't know, man. I don't know. We're getting into all this stuff. Everything happening on the streets in Minneapolis right now, it's just crazy town. It's crazy town. That city is just off its rocker, How did it get this way, Barry? They don't have one person in any position of authority in their government, in their city, that is not a lunatic.
It's starting to look that way. It really is, man. And like we talked about last week, man, open up those mental asylums. They need to be reopened, yep. I think. Let's just make sure they're not, abusing people, and they're really trying to help people this time, But there's a lot of people out there that are very unstable, mentally unstable.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. It's and they're talking about how even more and more people are going to start coming armed to these protests. And they're not protests. If it's a peaceful protest, that's one thing. But these are organized actions, military actions against Border Patrol and ICE, against Homeland Security. They're militias in a way. That are, and you weren't here Sunday night, but I coined a really good term. What would Lincoln do? What would Abraham Lincoln do?
Mm-hmm. All right.
How much of this? Well, he didn't put up with a lot of it when the South tried this.
Right.
He is not one to look at a state revolting straight up against the federal government in almost every way. And he sure wouldn't be giving them any money. He wouldn't be coddling them. He'd be probably harsher than Donald Trump has been. What would Lincoln do, He freed the slaves. He saved the Union. He kept it from separating. And he did it at by any means necessary. He did it the hard way. And so I don't think he'd be afraid to go into Minneapolis right now and say, hey, this doesn't work. What you're doing ain't going to work. Cut it out, or it's only going to get worse. And I think that's exactly what Donald Trump has been doing.
Mhm.
Cut it out, or it's going to get a whole lot worse. And he had this little talk with, anytime something happens there, Tim Walz has got to call up Donald. I got to call him and give him a piece of my mind. But he doesn't give him a piece of his mind.
No, he's got his back against the wall when he's on the phone with Trump. And Trump even said that because they were, questioning him and saying, Waltz says this about you, man. And he said, well, that's not the tone he had when I was talking with him on the phone. So, to Trump's face, he's pretty much the coward that he is. But when he's in front of the cameras and all of his peers, the fake news media and all of his little, cronies out there, he says all this tough stuff, like I want to punch J.D. Vance in the face, sort of following the line that Biden did. I'm going to take him back behind the gym and whoop his tail.
Mark, a little technical difficulties there. I'm not hearing you, but I'm assuming you can hear me.
How about now? Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. Okay, we're
sorry,
coming back.
folks,
Barry should be in here any second as well.
Of a crash. I can't get him.
See if you can pull him in.
I can't because he didn't hang up over on the other one, and maybe that's what happened before, and it kept the deal going. All right, folks.
Anyway, nobody cares about that at home. Folks, sorry about the technicalities. We are human beings, and being humans, is part of the deal. Things happen, and that just happened, so let's just kind of keep moving on. But yeah, I've got CNN over here. I'm sorry, ABC News. Trevor Ault predicts more Minneapolis protesters will start bringing guns to their confrontations with CBP and ICE and possibly use against the agents, claiming fear for their safety. So he says, quote, anger is the absolute main emotion that we're seeing, George, end quote. It's like, if you're going to protest the actions of ICE, that's one thing. If you're going to go hinder them from doing their job, actually go to where they are on the street, get in the way and prevent them from doing their job, then you are impeding armed police officers. Now, if you go do that, that's bad enough. If you go there with guns because you say you're afraid for your life and your safety when you're impeding cops doing their jobs, and so you think you need a gun to go do that, folks, that's another level of lunacy. It's another level of lunacy out there. It is one I can't even wrap my head around. You fight cops, you're going to die. These are cops. If anyone's telling you ICE agents aren't federal police officers, they're stupid. They're law enforcement officers, LEO, law enforcement officers. They have badges. They have federal government issued guns. They have more power than local cops do because they're feds. They can chase you across state by state, city, county, whatever. They don't care. They're feds. They have jurisdiction everywhere. So if you think you're worried about your safety in your life because you're going to go try to fight cops who are doing their jobs, you're a special kind of stupid. And 99% of the population out there, 99.9999% of the people out there listening to this are marked safe from being shot by ICE today because they're not going to go out and fight ICE. But for the not 1% of you who want to go fight ICE, I wish you the best. Good luck. You're probably going to die, and I just hope you don't take anyone down with you. I hope no one else gets hurt because of your stupidity. But that's the fact. That's the real world. That's how this actually works on the streets, folks. It's not like you can just, fight ICE and think it's fun. And boy, you're LARPing as some sort of a, actual difference in the world. You think this matters? You think you're going to make one bit of difference because you tried to fight a cop over some hardened criminal, some gang member from Puerto Rico or wherever who's being deported back to their home, and you're willing to fight a cop over that? You don't even know what this guy did. You don't even know if he's a pedophile. A lot of them are. A shocking number of them are. If they're fentanyl dealers who knowingly kill people in the course of their disgusting actions. You don't know, but yet you're out there willing to fight a cop with a gun to stand in the way of them deporting someone who is a known criminal.
Mm-hmm.
Disgusting, Barry. What do you say?
I don't know what you were saying. I got kicked out of the room for some reason, but I'm back. What were you saying?
Yeah, you weren't bringing the funny. Normally you bring a little bit of funny. Tonight you weren't doing it, so I thought it'd be funny to just kick you out of the room for a few minutes.
Oh, man. Well, just give me time.
Yeah. No, we, just as a sidebar, we didn't properly reset the room at the top of the hour, so it just expired on us. But anyway, I was talking about how this ABC reporter was claiming that more and more people are going to start coming to the rallies. They call them rallies. They're really organized resistance against federal agents. And they're worried about their safety, so more and more of them are going to start bringing guns. And I was just commenting on what an idiotic thing that was, and how if you're out there doing that, man, you're going to die. You're going to get shot. You're going to, your parents are going to outlive you. And Darwin was right.
Yeah, you can't get involved in law enforcement's activities. It's against the law. Mm-hmm. You can't be like, if they're arresting somebody, try to stop them from arresting somebody. That's idiotic, man. That is insane.
It's stupid. And they don't even know what I was getting at right when you came back in here is who that person is. Did they, literally kill and rape some little kid and leave him for dead somewhere in an alley? Or did they, kill an old person? How many people have they killed? Are they rapists? Are they, God knows what? They're going after some of the worst of the worst. And many of these people are, in fact, guilty of these horrendous crimes. That's why they're going after them. So you don't even know who you're defending.
Yeah, it was like that one ICE agent was, trying to tell those people, get out of our way. You are obstructing what we're trying to do. We're trying to get a child pedophile off the streets, and that's what you are stopping. And he literally looked at them with like crazy eyes, and then he said, it's insane. That was his exact quote. And he drove off. And it is insane. What is happening to America, man? It's something that has been socially engineered. It's something that is definitely well coordinated, right? Because in order to get it to happen in multiple places, it has to be somewhat coordinated. And that's already happened in the past. And it looks like that, like you're saying, is now reformulating again. But I have a little prediction, man. It doesn't matter what they do. They're not in a position to wreak the kind of havoc that they did when Biden was the president, because Trump's the president now. And he has a little thing called the Insurrection Act, which he can invoke at any moment he needs to. And if they continue with their violent behavior and their physical violence, he will invoke it.
They are being insurrectionists right now, without a doubt. Insurrection. That's exactly what it is. They're literally in signal chats with some of the top people from Tim Walz's office and the mayor's office, coordinating, running plates. They've got systematically people out there checking every rental car, running plates on them, getting these databases of known federal agents. And if they got your car in that database, they will follow you down. They will hunt you down. They will go everywhere you go. That's an insurrection. It's so obvious. And if you just think you can go out there and legally do that kind of stuff, you're retarded. You're grossly misinformed about the laws. And these NGOs are paying people to do it. Man, they need to go to jail too. Those funds need to be confiscated. And let's face it, half those funds come from the U.S. taxpayers anyways.
Well, here's their cushion. See, they know that whatever happens, out on the streets, right? no matter how much it's their fault, it doesn't matter because the mainstream media fake news is going to report it differently.
Yeah.
They're going to point the finger at ICE. They're going to point the finger at Trump. They're going to point the finger at MAGA supporters. Doesn't matter that they're the bad people. They're the guilty party. You know, it's just like I was talking about where that guy was being assaulted and the news was filming right where he was being assaulted. And he was like, hey, don't you want to film over here? They picked up their sticks and their camera and walked away because they didn't want to report that. What they wanted to report was that it was a peaceful protest. And then that same guy that was physically assaulted by the Antifa or anti-ICE people, whoever they were, you know, put the video of the news clip where they did just that. They ignored the fact that he was being assaulted and said it was mostly, well, not even mostly peaceful, just peaceful protest. And they made it like it was this wonderful thing, but it's not. You know, I had a friend of mine that knows somebody that lives in Portland. He was saying, and she was telling me, oh, it's peaceful in Portland. Remember when they were there for whatever, 185 days, they were out there on the streets. And she was saying, he said it was peaceful. I said, yeah, peaceful if you're one of the thugs, but not if you're going there to report independently or you're someone on the other political spectrum. They attack you. They attacked Nick Shirley and threatened his life and pepper sprayed him on one occasion.
Yeah. Oh, he's been targeted many, many, many times. He's very lucky, you know, and now he has a lot of security and he needs to have that security. You know, it's not optional. He has to have it. It's extremely expensive and, you know, it's a shame because, you know, you can't go out and report anything now without it costing what, $5,000-$10,000 just to go out and start potentially recording a video. You know, you used to be able to do it for free.
Yeah. I mean, I just watched his last video that he put out a day or two ago where he was exposing more corruptions, you know, with these, I don't know, daycare centers again. And every time he confronts them, you know, of course, he had 2 bodyguards with him and they were trying to keep the people, you know, at a safe distance because they were getting in his face. And all they would scream was, you hate Muslims. You are a white supremacist. You don't belong here. You are not law enforcement. You need to run for office. And I'm just like, no, this is America. It's called independent journalism. It's 100% legal. You can do it. Anybody can do it. And we should do it because the fake news isn't going to do it.
Yeah. And it's fraud. He's just covering fraud. And that's why they're so pissed. They're not, they know it's not about race. They know it's about they're guilty. They did it. They've got a cash cow. They're milking it away and he's trying to take that cow away from them. That's why they're so pissed. It has nothing to do with race. Ever 100%. For a second.
100%. And he said, he goes, how? I'm just exposing fraud. And the reality of it is, you know, most of the people that are above that, where the real fraud is actually being executed, are just white people, white Democrats.
Yeah, Tim Walz. Guys like them, allegedly.
Allegedly so, exactly. Because somebody's heading the whole thing up. They're just the recipients. They have no problem being a part of the fraud, but they're not the ones necessarily executing it.
Now, Ilhan Omar, they're looking into her $30 million net worth, which is probably closer to 50 now or 60.
Yeah.
Because that's a lot of money to make in a few short years.
Yeah, Benny Johnson did a little mini report on that, saying that she owns some sort of winery, and I think it only made like $15,000 the first year, but the next year it started becoming really profitable. But he supposedly, I didn't really watch it in super detail, but from what I could tell, he tried to buy some wine off the site and that wasn't possible. It's probably one of those shell companies. I don't know. I mean, we'll find out sooner than later, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's probably getting all kinds of COVID money or whatever. And, you know,
something's up, man.
But she's sort of the queen of that community. And that is a very tight-knit community. And she's right at the top of it. And so, you know, much of the fraud that she allowed to be put into law there is she knows exactly who and how it's being exploited. And so it's easy to step in there and become an intermediary at some higher level that allows you to get giant kickbacks that you could allegedly say are consulting or whatever, this or that, you know, not necessarily just straight up grift.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, I think the USAID thing, what was that sort of opened up a lot of people's eyes about how easy it is to commit, how easy it is to commit fraud in a way that seems legitimate, in a way that seems, upright. And,
Caring.
Until you really dig, you don't know.
Yeah. It sounds righteous. I mean, let's feed the kids during COVID. Wow. Who's going to vote that down? Right?
Exactly. And who's going to look into that? They're going to go, oh, that sounds legit.
Yeah. And who's the scumbag that's going to take advantage of that? How low do you have to be to really go in there and just bilk millions of dollars for money that's intended to go to hungry kids during COVID?
You have to be the lowest of low, my friend. The absolute lowest of low, because the need really was there. That's the thing.
Yeah.
The need was really there. And so they took money from children. And these are the lowest and most despicable of people.
Yeah. To go buy a, $150,000 Porsche, right?
Exactly.
And drive that around all cocky like you figured out life and you've really got it, I don't even know how you can enjoy 1 second of that. Every time I'd hit that gas, I would feel so guilty, Yeah.
You have to be calloused. You have to literally be, your conscience has to be completely seared, like you have none. It has to be non-existent, man. And I've listened to a lot of these people that have raised up to the very top levels, maybe not the top, but pretty high up in the elite, bankers and so forth that have become whistleblowers. And they've all said they were told, look, man, we'll raise you up, but you have to have no conscience. And he's like, well, no problem with that. I've been abused my whole life. My conscience is seared. I don't feel anything. But he did eventually snap out of it because it's so dark in those circles.
Yeah, it's brutal, man. You want a friend, buy a dog, right? In the immortal words of Gordon Gekko.
Yeah, they're pretty loyal. That's for sure.
But yeah, there's a lot of ugly out there. So let's talk about something a little less ugly. A dude, where's the article here? Just climbed in Taipei, the tallest building there.
I saw that.
Yeah, kind of cool.
Without any kind of support. That's what's nuts.
Yeah, here it is. American successfully climbs Taiwan's 508-meter skyscraper in staggering ropeless ascent. So yeah, no ropes. Alex Honnold, and I think this is the same guy. He's climbed all kinds of buildings all over the world, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But Taipei 101 is once the tallest building on Earth, 101 stories, half a kilometer high. And yeah, I remember once working in Chicago, and we kind of had a view of the Sears Tower.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a dude climbing it. I think he was dressed as Spider-Man. And he's just climbing up the outside. And so it was I could go, not from where I was seated, but I could go into my buddy's office and look out the window and, there he is. He's still going up, right? So every half hour you'd go over there and pop your head out and be like, yeah, he's still there. He hasn't died yet,
Well, this guy had the approval, I guess, of the local government or local officials and so forth. A lot of these people, they just do it randomly and then they get arrested if they survive it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Usually
and they've got the GoFundMe. And,
once he makes it to the top, they got to bring a helicopter to get him. They got to rescue him. Because a lot of people just finding, random buildings to climb and they do it. They live off that rush. This guy was crazy because at the very top, he literally latched his feet behind something and leaned back. And everybody's like, oh no, he was almost to the very top. They're like, don't do that. That's insane. He's stretched back, like what's holding him up? Well, his feet, they were latched. But so you got to really have a lot of muscles, first of all, to do what he's doing. And you have to be extremely limber. You have to be extremely trained. You have to be extremely fit, dude. But it was a lot of show there at the end. But had he fallen, man, that would not have been pretty.
Yeah. And most of the buildings they climb are not extremely technical. Any really good rock climber could do this, no problem.
Yeah,
but they would have ropes because they're not idiots.
One bad step, though, dude. That's all it takes, or one slip.
Exactly.
So focus that you have to have. These people have a focus that's just unreal, dude. It's incredible. Yeah. We could probably learn a lot from just how much they're focused, because they're saying now, a lot of the studies are saying that the reason that people are kind of so scattered brain is because they don't have any more focus anymore. They can't focus in, even on work for long term.
Yeah. Yeah. It took him an hour and 35 minutes to get to the top. So,
Hey,
it's quite a while of
imagine
constant
the
movement.
stress of the wife and the kids. Like they were waving. The wife was up there. She met him up there, and they're waving to the kids, but the kids aren't watching because they're terrified. They don't want to see, something bad happen to their dad, just so they didn't watch. But imagine the wife, though. I've seen a lot of these climbers that do the rock climbing, the same type of scenario, try to break all the records and stuff and go higher and higher and higher. And they beg their husband to stop, but they can't. It's something that's like wired into their brain to where they have to do it. It's like they see a mountain, they see, a building, they got to climb it. It's just something that's hardwired in their brain. And eventually it does, unfortunately, sort of like the people that are that do the, what do you call it? The free flying, where they jump off the mountain and they just kind of soar around for a while. That takes a lot of lives, unfortunately. But these people feel like they're living more when they do that than, they're willing to risk death because they're so alive when they do that.
Yeah, and I've seen those videos. That looks insanely fun. It looks really dangerous, but it does look insanely fun.
Yeah.
And then there was also this guy recently in the last few years who just climbed El Capitan in Yosemite. Okay. And I think he did it in 3.5 hours. And that's like, on average, that takes like 2 or 3 days for most people to do it. But he did it with no ropes, total freestyle.
Yeah.
And broke all kinds of records. And I want to say in the back of my head, he's not even with us anymore. And he just did this a couple of years ago.
What about the guy that climbed some mountain in shorts and no shoes in the snow? Remember that?
Oh, are you talking about that? That famous dude who sits in freezing water for hours on end,
like freezing baths and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. And Yes Theory did a video with him where they climbed a mountain with him barefoot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's
famous.
A lot of that stuff inspiring. When you're pushing your body to do things that most people say can't be done. And they also did a deal where they injected like harmful bacteria into his body and it didn't affect him at all. And he trained other people how to do it as well. And they injected harmful bacteria into their body and nothing happened as well. Not so harmful that it would kill them, but that they should have had a reaction. And they did.
Exactly. And so it tells you, it kind of does something that we don't really understand. But folks, we've got to take a break. This is the Censorship Sucks Roundtable Radio Show. We'll be right back after these messages.
All right. We're back on track now.
All right.
Cool.
All right, folks. Now, when we hang up, we have to hang up completely, all right? Time.
You want to wait a couple minutes?
Yeah, I'm going to wait until the 5-minute, till top of the hour before we take and get over. Appreciate you guys, getting back in there so quick. So, sorry that happened out there on the video side. We can't control the timer on these things. So I'm like, we'd like to, but not at this
I got
time.
a nice rant when I came back and I was by myself. Yeah. All of a sudden, I just was like, all right.
Go for it, man. Yeah.
Great.
You needed it.
Yeah. You were a powerhouse.
Yeah. I mean, I got the let out,
Yeah.
You can't have that lead just sticking in there, man. You got to get it out.
Well, you know what? I'm thinking what we should do, just in case that this happens again, we'll go to room 2. Wednesday, room 2. Okay.
Don't even tell us that. Just give me an invite. And you do whatever you want to do. It works.
Since I haven't used it in so long. There it is. You were like,
I wouldn't probably be able to find it either.
I got it. I found it. Everybody should be in there already.
I'm in it. I just wouldn't know where to find it.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
All right. I'm going to end this call in a
minute.
minute.
I'm checking out, man.
I'm going to hang up.
No. I'm going to wait. Oh, my God. No.
Oops, too late. Well, I'm still in, so I'll wait.
You wait.
Yeah, I'll wait for your sig.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what happened on your side, Barry, but we did get stuck there. Did you have to reboot?
Yeah, I just closed out and opened up, and you put the link in there for me. So I couldn't see the link until I, like you said, rebooted it.
All right, I'm gonna hang up right now. All right, end this meeting, and I'm gonna take and get us to the next one. All right.
Sounds good. All right. Peace.
All right. All right. That was hour 1 of the Censorship Sucks Roundtable Radio Show. We have more to come. Another hour, that is. What? Won't let me do that. Well, let me just go back to where I was. We got plenty of time for that.
Hello?
Yeah, it looks like I couldn't use the last one, so, I mean, because we haven't used it in so long, so, maybe that's how it works. I don't know. Just trying to make it work.
Yeah, I don't even know. I'm not even sure quite what you're talking about when you say the last one.
Yeah, you know, the for meeting 2. There he is.
Yeah.
There's Bullhorn Barry.
I wait for you to call me, and then I pick up.
Yep, there you go.
Whatever room you use, I don't know or really, even notice what room you use.
Yeah.
John, are you going to talk about, because I think it ties into all the stuff you've been talking a lot about, with the fake news altering things and so forth, because MSN now, formerly I guess MSNBC, they took a picture of Alex Preddy where he looks kind of like a sketchy, creepy looking Democrat.
Yeah.
And they literally changed it. I mean, he's a different person altogether. He looks like a very well-polished, handsome-looking Republican now. So we should talk about that, because we're talking about how they're all part of it, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they are the enemy. Trump talked about the three top enemies, and one of them, he said just recently, is the fake news. He said we have to have fair and balanced news in order to have a stable America. And he mentioned a couple other things. I can't think of them off the top of my head. Fair elections was the first one. I can't remember what the second one was. But anyway, he gave 3 things that we have to have. That's one of them, is a fair and balanced media. But they are the ones colluding with the corrupt establishment. I mean, altering images because the guy looks like a creepy, sketchy-looking Democrat. I mean, it's hilarious, dude. Looked like the guy needs some sun, so they gave him a little bit of a tan, changed the shape of his face, gave him a better smile. Like I said, it doesn't even look like the same guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we can cover that.
But what's next with AI, man? They're going to start, putting those clips together now, because AI can do it. We're coming into that place, man, where I think David Hogg was talking about it in the pre-show, where he was talking about how, all of these videos coming out where, ICE is beating up peaceful protesters and stuff. All of that can pretty much be done pretty easily now and fool people. And while most people may figure it out, a lot of people won't, and they'll just believe it, right? So it'll be in their psyche that the ICE people are attacking people. I saw the video. I saw it myself on X, man.
Oh, and by the way, the Great Conspiracy is restreaming us tonight. And
cool.
He's like, the Department of Justice says, we don't hate the fake news.
We don't hate
Hey, Barry, I'm seeing breaking news that apple cider vinegar was, in fact, what was sprayed on her.
Oh, my God.
Okay.
So she's clean.
Well, yeah.
But if
sure.
that could have burned a little bit if it got in her eyes. But
Yeah,
you
it
know,
can cause your skin to turn red a little bit.
It's not.
If it's not but nothing serious.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Welcome to Veterans Radio out there. Appreciate you. Thank you for coming in, and hope you're having a great radio stream over there too. Keep the tunes rolling where you're at. Don't worry, we haven't annexed anything in Canada for you. You would be the first to know.
Oh, it's coming.
It's coming. Oh, and look who's in the Rumble chat. It is Sonia Galactic.
What's up, Sonia?
I'm sorry, Sonia. I haven't dropped you a line since yesterday or the day before. It's been busy here.
It is currently 3:03 a.m. in Istanbul.
Which used to be Constantinople.
That's right.
Yeah, there you go.
Look, former truther Jesse Ventura is now saying secession. Like Democrats, he's such a fraud now, man. He used to be a real truth teller at one time, and now he's just an establishment stooge, man. He's promoting secession. Says blue states should, let me see what it says, should become part of Canada. What a loon, man.
Well, you have to remember what his platform that he ran on as a politician. He was a socialist.
All I can say is, what would Lincoln do?
Yeah, what would Lincoln do? He would put them all in a boat and send them right back where they came. No, he would dump them off in Panama. That's what he wanted to do with the slaves, you know.
Let them all become part of Canada and then just invade Canada. Now they're back in the U.S.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Boom. Fix it for you.
Looks like Dr. Oz has now exposed $3.5 billion hospice fraud in Los Angeles. Imagine that, man. Hospice fraud. You know, some of the weakest, the weakest, most vulnerable among us. And that's what I said. They always go after, like vultures, man. They go after the weak and the vulnerable every single time.
Right.
That's how.
3, 2, 1, and you're live right now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to hour 2 of the Censorship Sucks Roundtable Radio Show, Wednesday night edition for January 28th, 2026. And boy, do we have a lot of stuff going on. Let's go back to Minneapolis one last time. Tim Walz deployed the National Guard, and they proceeded to go out, wear these big yellow vests so they would be absolutely never confused with ICE. And they proceeded to hand out coffee and donuts to the insurrectionists in the streets. Very good use, good use of the National Guard there.
Could we use it? Is that what you said? Well, yeah. I mean, but it doesn't seem like they did much of their job, because when there was that break into that building, remember there was like 1 or 2 ICE agents trying to, stop them from going into the building because they thought some ICE agents were in there or somebody was in there important. I don't remember why they were actually trying to crash the building. But where was the National Guard? Nowhere to be found, even though that was a serious incident happening, very serious. And they were breaking the glass and they were being violent in their behavior. It was a scary moment. And you only had 2 ICE people against all of these insurrectionists surrounding the 2 ICE people. And where was the National Guard? They had already been deployed, but they weren't there. They didn't come to help out.
Yeah. I mean, I saw one specific scene where there's just one guy there. His hands are covered in blood.
Yes. Yeah.
And, his own blood, mind you, not your hands will be dyed in blood. It's his blood.
Right.
And he's saying, where are the cops? Where are the police? This is their job to do this, not mine.
Yeah. Well, it seems like they're leaving them that way so that, something can turn violent and then they can turn around and blame Trump and blame ICE, even though the violence is being instigated by the insurrectionists and the guys just trying to defend the building, defend himself. And somehow he was able to show restraint, because in regular law enforcement, if you're being attacked, you're not going to tolerate that. You're going to pepper spray the person, tackle him, arrest him. But for whatever reason, he was showing great restraint, probably because that's kind of what they were telling him to do. That's why they've retreated. They haven't retreated permanently, right? They're not going to go back into a situation and not have enough people out on the streets to take care of what they need to do. Trump's not stupid. He just figured that out, that, there's too much going against him. And he's hoping that, maybe Tim Walz will just give them all the criminal illegal aliens, hand them over. So, but he's not backing away. People need to understand, we're not backing away from what we elected Trump to do, the mandate. We are not backing away. Trump is not backing away. I saw all these people on the right losing their mind saying Trump is backing away. He's lacking courage. No, he just pulled back in order to regroup and to re-strategize and not be stupid and expect, their National Guard to help. He's going to bring in more people. Obviously, if that's what has to happen. Now, hopefully, Walz will just cooperate and turn them all over. But, man, I'm telling you right now, I don't believe it. I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah. Now, you were talking about the AI-generated photo of the Preddy guy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
During the break.
Yeah. Alex Preddy wasn't pretty enough. So they heavily altered his image. MSNBC, I guess they're MS now. There's this kind of picture of him, that's a portrait of him, and he kind of looks creepy, in my opinion. He looks kind of creepy and sketchy, like most Democrats do today. And they polished him up really nice to where he looks like a handsome Republican now. And it doesn't look like the same person. His face, the shape of his face is different. He's not white and pale like he really is in real life. And they gave him a lot of, a color in his skin. They gave him a better smile. He just looks bright-eyed and cheery like a Republican looks, kind of like how most of us look on the right. If you haven't noticed, there's a big difference between the way the left looks and the way the right looks. Just go to one of the rallies and you'll see what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about every Democrat. I'm talking about the far left. And this guy, Alex Preddy, was far left, dude. This guy is pretty far as you can go.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's out there 2 weeks in a row fighting cops on the streets. You really got to drink the Kool-Aid and drink it deep to be that involved. And if I understand correctly, he works in Chicago, so he had to drive up to Minneapolis, and that's not necessarily a quick, easy drive. That's many hours in the dead of winter to go protest in one of the coldest cities in the country outside all day. You got to be dedicated to want to do that.
100%, man. Yeah, I'm just wondering, how many of these are, again, I'm not saying he was a paid protester, but I think a lot of them, he probably doesn't need to be a paid protester. I think he was a nurse, probably got paid pretty good being a nurse. But, there was a video that just came out on X. Somebody was filming where a truck pulled up and they had all of these pre-made perfectly signs like Trump talks about all the time, perfectly printed. They're passing out to people. That doesn't happen if it's organic. If it's grassroots, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's the NGOs that are out there, funneling money out of the government and putting it into the hands of these paid protesters to go out and do this crap. And granted, not every one of them is paid, don't get me wrong, but many of them are. And the ones that make everything happen, the organizers, are very well paid. To go out there and make sure this thing goes down the way it's supposed to, and everyone's on this corner holding the right signs at the right time and the right numbers to make an impact. So it gets on the news so that the news can cover it and call Trump and his, henchmen a bunch of Nazis, so that riles everybody up. And now it's war on the streets. Now you got war on the streets. Congratulations. But people are dead. And then, you get a couple of dead people, they become martyrs. And it just makes the cause grow. So they want those dead people. They want people to die fighting ICE because it makes ICE look like murderers. And then they just get twice as many people out the next week. and so on and so forth. It's a disgusting leech on the government to take this money to do such nasty, horrible things with it. It is really just the epitome of evil. It's not probably as bad as taking COVID funds, but what were these funds actually supposed to do, right? What is this USAID? What was it earmarked for when it got in the hands of these crazy NGOs that are out there doing this paid protester crap? I'm sure it was designated for something a whole lot more, palatable than paid thugs on the street fucking ICE. It was a DEI thing. It's to help endangered communities in the United States. Well, this is how we're going to help them, by fighting ICE. It's crazy.
Yeah. And we were talking in the break about Dr. Oz exposing $3.5 billion fraud in hospice, right, in Los Angeles. Tied. So it's not just, first of all, the fraud has nothing to do with Somalians, because in this particular instance, it's Russian Armenian mafia. Okay. So we don't care who's behind it. We just want it exposed. I don't care if you're white, you're black, you're brown, Christian, Muslim, whatever you are. If you're involved in fraud, you are going to be exposed, because this is a great season of disclosure, as I've said many, many times. But think about that too. Again, they prey on the most vulnerable. And there's no one more vulnerable than hospice, man. You're on your deathbed when you're in hospice. Very few people ever get released out of hospice. A few do on occasion.
If you don't know what a hospice is, it's like where you go to die. If you've got maybe a couple months to live, it's going to be painful, it's going to be awful. You go to a hospice and you spend your last days there. So to be stealing money from people literally on their deathbeds is disgusting beyond belief. It's disgusting. It's the difference between them eating mac and cheese and maybe having a nice, spaghetti dinner from Olive Garden that's delivered, via DoorDash. It's that kind of difference. It's just quality of life in your final days that you can never get back. It's their final days of life, man. Some sort of dignity. And you're going to steal that out from them again, so you can go buy a Porsche and a big lakefront, or oceanfront home in California. Good for you. Good for you. How you sleep at night, I don't know. But man, scumbags. And I get how some of these people sleep at night, because, hey, the Somali community, again, they're here to rip us off. They don't care. They want the money. It's free money to them. They have no morals about taking it. They're strangers in a strange land. And that strange land is just giving you money hand over fist. I say, if you're part of that community, take it. Send as much home as you can, and just be prepared for one day. You might have to do a little soft time, but then you've got a boatload of money waiting for you in Somalia when you get back home. So who cares? Right?
It's just awful, man. It's like Nick Shirley said too. He said that he believes, and he's not the only one who said this, that the fraud in California is going to be way more than what they found in Minnesota. And this has been echoed even by the Trump administration. I believe it was J.D. Vance said probably something similar to that. Somebody did. I can't remember exactly who. But California probably has much more rampant fraud than Minnesota. It's bigger too, so that makes sense that there would be more.
Oh, it's way, way, way bigger. That's not even close. You know what I mean? Minneapolis is probably smaller than Sacramento. It might even be on par with like a Bakersfield or something. I mean, California must have 40 cities that are bigger than Minneapolis, right? Or at least the same size. And, my bad, they got St. Paul too. So, it's not just Minneapolis. It's St. Paul too. That's another big city. But yeah, you get my point. It's California's massive. New York City too, the same thing. It's just so much bigger. The numbers there are going to be staggering compared to what we're seeing, the 20 million so far in Minneapolis,
Would you agree? We're just getting started, man. I think there's going to be full investigations, all kinds of indictments, arrests, and convictions. Look, Dr. Fraud said this is organized crime, a mafia deal where you've got folks who are systemically recruited doctors to write false prescriptions. Hundreds of doctors. The people we're supposed to trust are participating, he said. They've got 100,000 patients who they've tricked or paid to give them their beneficiary numbers so they can perpetuate the fraud. He also said that the Trump administration is now turning its focus to the fraud in the state of California. So that's exactly what we were talking about. California is probably next. Nick Shirley probably brought that to the Trump administrations. I mean, we've talked about how cool Nick Shirley is, man. I mean, the dude is legendary, man. I just have so much respect for the guy. I don't worship him or anything like that, but I have deep admiration and respect because he's got the bravery and the courage of like a Marine or a Navy SEALs, man. They'll go in anywhere and not fear.
Exactly. It's going to get real serious for him real soon. He's going to have to start going full on James O'Keefe with the undercover stuff, you know, fake mustache, glasses.
Yeah, you saw where they tried to rip off his vest when he was in there in Minneapolis, right? They tried to rip off
or James O'Keefe.
Yeah, James O'Keefe. They tried to rip off his bulletproof vest, and they threw, ice bottles at him.
Yep, I saw that.
Attacking him, and then they sent him a text. They said, we know your car, we know your license plate. They gave the license plate, and they said, if you're not gone in 1 hour, you are dead. They said. So he turned that over to the FBI and the Trump administration. So hopefully they can track that and arrest those people for a death threat. But these are the kind of people that we're dealing with, people that want us dead. And that's what I was saying, going back to the Portland deal. You know, my friend was saying, oh, it's peaceful, man. They're all dancing around, having fun, putting on costumes. I said, yeah, if you're one of them, they leave you alone. But if you're just somebody there that just wants to independently report it, or you're from the other side, they attack you. They attack you. I mean, these are not good people. These are very, very bad, shady, sketchy people.
Yeah, put on a MAGA hat in the middle of that crowd and see how long you last, you know? They'll literally kill you. They'll kill you. And I don't mean to, make light of that because it's a damn serious thing. It really is. So let's see. While we're on California, Trump is sick and tired of the failure that is the governorship and the mayoral positions of Los Angeles and California. And he's signed an executive order to have the federal government take over the permitting process for Altadena and Palisades. So we're going to start seeing building going on in Los Angeles again after the fire destroyed everything over a year ago. And Trump now, he did this on the 1-year anniversary of the fire. He came out and said, look, I know real estate. I know a little thing or two about real estate. And in no healthy market in the world would nothing be built a year later after these fires.
Now, didn't Karen Bass respond to that, though? And she was saying, well, we've got a process. It takes time, blah, blah. Wasn't she didn't they have a conversation recently?
Well, she could have made some excuses, but they're just that. They're excuses. Why is nothing being built?
Oh, I agree. No, I'm just saying she's just given the political talking point, which is nonsense and gibberish. But I mean, yeah, it's got to get done or it will never get done.
Yeah. Pacific Palisades, think of it like the junction where Malibu turns into Los Angeles. You know what I mean? It's the junction where the Pacific Crest Highway and Sunset Drive and all that kind of end at the beach. That's Pacific Palisades. And then you go north and you're in Malibu. And so it's like the center of a lot of money. The people who live there have boatloads of money. If they could have rebuilt their houses in 3 months flat, they would have paid a massive premium to rebuild their homes in 3 months flat. But a year later, they can't even get a permit. They can't even get off first base.
Yeah, I think it's still only 8 homes that have been rebuilt so far.
I haven't heard that many.
I haven't heard anything differently. So, they don't care about the people. And that's why I hope Gavin Newsom runs, because I think most people in California don't like him. Even Democrats, I would imagine, don't like him.
Well, he sucks. I mean,
I can't argue with you on that.
Even just this year, like a month or two ago, they announced that we're still having problems with that reservoir that had no water in it last year. And they were decommissioning it for the next several months so they could fix the plastic that goes over the top of it.
Yeah. Didn't Benny Johnson go over there and just find out there's no water in it still?
Yeah. It's like, here it is a year later, going right into the Santa Ana winds again. No water in there. Boy, who thought this one through? It's absolutely negligent. So, yeah, if that's your governor, I'm not happy either, man. If I go down and I know my fire hydrant that's right in front of my house, that I think it's a good thing, I got a fire hydrant right in my front yard. That's there. If anything ever goes down, at least there's a fire hydrant right there. But If they hook a hose up to it, will water come out? That's a question. I pay $1 million in sales tax or in in property tax a year, or I don't know what's the real number, $50,000, $100,000 on a home like that that you're paying just in property taxes, and they can't even put water in the fire hydrant in front of your house.
Yeah,
for that kind of money. Got to be kidding me.
And let's not forget, Gavin Newsom was at the Davos meeting, and he's sitting there with all these globalists, right, that don't have America's best interests at heart. And what is he doing? He's literally bashing Trump in front of the globalists, bashing America, bashing Trump. And who's the ESPN announcer? Stevens or Steve or something. What's that guy's name?
Stephen Smith.
Stephen Smith. Yeah, he's a Democrat, and he was out there saying, you don't do that. You don't go and represent America and then go there and bash America. I mean, the guy has no taste whatsoever.
Yeah, no class.
No class.
And he's Justin Trudeau of America, really. At the end of the day, if you want Justin Trudeau, that's what you get with him. I'm surprised he's not dating Katy Perry on the side too, you know?
Man, that's such a weird one. That one is. I mean, apparently, but it's expected because Hollywood is now in lockstep, dude, with, coming against MAGA, coming against ICE. And so it makes sense that she would date, kind of one of the kingpins of the global elite, man. He's one of the kingpins, not the top of the top, but pretty high, man. He's a globalist. In my opinion, a globalist thug who's very tyrannical. He was a tyrannical leader in Canada. That's why he got booted, because in fact, they can't. What their Supreme Court said that what he did was unconstitutional under their laws when they froze the assets of the truck drivers and all that kind of. Remember all that tyrannical stuff that he did?
Absolutely. Yeah, who could forget? I mean, he's almost as bad. He's almost as badass. Keir Starmer! Almost as bad as Keir Starmer, who is just the least popular prime minister the UK has ever had. Ever. They say how bad Margaret Thatcher was, but you know what? He's way worse. Folks, we got to go to break. This is the Censorship Sucks Roundtable Radio Show. And before we go, I'm just going to say I love Amelia. Amelia, we love you. Folks, we'll be right back after this.
All right, we're on radio break. Welcome in, Wobbly.
Amelia, man, you either know it or you don't.
Did you see where Keir Starmer was making fun of Macron wearing sunglasses? Because I thought it was AI, dude. When I saw Macron at Davos wearing sunglasses, I thought somebody put that on him. And why was he wearing sunglasses while he was giving a speech? What was up with that? Does anybody know?
It was some joke about Macron, but I don't know. I didn't really get it. I don't know him well enough to get it.
Well, I'm saying, ask how you guys are doing tonight. I'm doing pretty good here.
Doing good.
Good.
His wife punched him.
Oh yeah? What do you do?
No, not Wobbly. I think the guy that you were talking about.
I really want to know why he was wearing sunglasses at Davos while he was giving a speech. It was creepy. It was like that Jim Jones thing happening, man. And apparently Keir Starmer was making fun of him. I didn't know that the globalists had any sense of humor. I really didn't.
Oh, they don't. No.
Yeah, well, maybe on a rare occasion.
Yeah, I don't think Wobbly would be here if his wife knocked him out or punched him.
Hey,
anyways,
it could be one of those weird rituals, man. The black eye ritual. Who knows, right?
No, she's not into that. Neither is he. Even though they are deep in the heart of the Republic of California.
I think we're talking about two totally different people here.
Yeah,
I mean Macron.
Oh, I was talking about Wobbly.
Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down.
Maybe.
I don't know, dude. I used to have Weebles. They were awesome. They need to bring Weebles back.
Yeah, Weebles were great until kids started choking on them. But then again, hey, what are you trying to eat them for?
That's not good, yeah.
Oh, Wobbly said The guy had an eye infection.
Oh, okay.
That's why
okay.
he's
So there
wearing
was
the glasses.
Yeah. All right. I just thought it was AI because it was so bizarre. I was like, what are they now coming out with wearing their sunglasses like they're Jim Jones? Yeah. Anyway, nothing surprised me. You know, I'm just
like
I look at things and
dudes from the Matrix.
The virus dudes? You mean in Matrix Reloaded?
No, in all the Matrixes, all the agents wear the glasses. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
No matter what Matrix you watch, they all wear glasses, sunglasses.
Yeah, they do. Yep. It gets you a pair of those Morpheus sunglasses that just lay on top of your nose. They don't have any rips on them.
That'd be too cool for them.
It would be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think anything really shocks me anymore. It's really hard to shock at this point.
Man, tonight is going by so fast.
I can't believe it.
Later on, I don't think Nancy's going to be with us. So, if you guys want to come in, and help me, keep her show rolling tonight live, I'll be in for that. But 30 seconds, and we'll be back. She sent me a message earlier, and I asked her what you want to do. I'll ask Jack to see what's going on. Jack will probably cover the first hour if he can, and then normally he has to bail out. 3, 2, 1, and you're live right now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Hour 2 of the Censorship Sucks Roundtable Radio Show. So let's dive back into some news here. Let's go to, it's been 20 years since Al Gore's An Inconvenient Truth came out. 20 years ago. And, 2006. And he made all kinds of different predictions in this movie that spanned out 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. None of it has come true. None of it. Kilimanjaro would have no ice on it by way before now. Glacier National Park would be free of glaciers by now. The North Pole wouldn't have ice during the summer years or months. And on and on and on and on and on. Even Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez came out 5 years ago saying, 7 years ago, saying the Earth would end in 12 years after diligently watching An Inconvenient Truth. And the only inconvenient truth to that movie is that it was all a crock. It was all lies. It was all BS.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I don't know, here we are 20 years later, and it's just interesting to see that this thing that so many people put so much power into and took as Bible has just failed over and over and over and has been wrong about everything. And we all said at the time, wow, this seems kind of like a little over the top, right? Like, you really don't believe all this stuff, do you? Well, he sure did. At least he said he did. But was it just a grift, Barry? Was it just a grift the whole time?
100%. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, they want to use fear because no one else is going to go along with their doom and gloom agenda of less and less and having less and less and owning nothing, and being happy about it. No one's going to go along with that unless there's some big terror and fear behind it where you're going to go, yeah, I'll give up my freedom. I'll give up my rights. I'll give up my prosperity. I'll give up my free will. I'll do whatever, just, save us. But I mean, only the dumbest of people, the most easily deceived people believe the nonsense, So I don't know what to say. I mean, I don't mean to be mean, but you really have to be, you have to be low IQ to believe the kind of stuff that they're constantly saying. And it's constantly one fear after the other. It's not if it's not global warming and climate change, it's a deadly virus, that they knew was coming, that they probably planned and released, in my opinion, some very nefarious powers, right? At the highest levels, release that. They laid it all out, starting with the LOX document, and then of course doing all the little drills that they did, and they're having their little meetings, getting together and talking about how they're going to handle it if it happens. And they kept, preconditioning us to this fact with Netflix documentaries and videos, and this is coming, it's certain, we know it. And even Fauci himself said at Princeton that Trump was going to have a surprise pandemic. Remember that? And he said that, I think it was like in 2017 or something like that. So
Yeah.
he knew, man. How could he possibly know that? How can you know something like that? How can you pinpoint it down to a 4-year period? Well, we know this virus is coming, and it's going to just so happen to come in this 4-year period. We know it.
Yeah. And with all the global warming stuff, I mean, all these things are nice to have. Sure. Are electric cars good? They're fine. You know what I mean? They're not necessarily the free energy system that people think they are, where you just plug it in and you drive it and there's no, energy consumed anywhere. It's just, you just simply plug it into some magic thing at night that, it's all free. No. These things do 0 to 60 in 3 seconds, top speed of 155, but they weigh twice as much as the sports cars they're racing, which means they take twice as much energy to go from 0 to 60 as that, Porsche 911 in the next lane. Which, you beat the Porsche 911, but at what cost? That's not a green car. Nothing green about it. It's a sports car that burns through crazy amounts of electricity and has to be replaced every night. A lot of it by coal-burning power plants that power the electric grid that you plug into. We've all seen that meme where the guy's on the side of the highway plugging in his electric vehicle, and in the background, you see the wires going to the coal plant, and he's on the phone saying, "I'm doing my part, I'm green." Like, no, you're running a coal-powered car. At least gasoline is like cleaner than coal. But anyway, I digress. Sure. It's great. It's a nice to have. But when you look at the rest of the world, they're doing nothing. China's building power plants left and right as fast as they can. Several a month are coming online in China every single month.
Yeah. And their toxic skies
same thing.
They blow right into America. Their toxic skies do. It's not about toxicity. A real toxicity, like carbon, CO2 is fine. That's not a toxin. It's planet needs it. But what China's putting up in there, a lot of that is just pollutants, right? And that blows down this way. But they don't care. They let them do whatever they want. But America, oh no, we got to cut back. Because why? Because America is free. And they don't want populism. They've said that over and over and over again, that populism is the enemy. They just got through saying that at Davos, man, where the head of the Davos, the WEF, Larry Fink said that, man. So they don't want us to have freedom, man. That's what it really comes to. They don't want populism because they can't control anybody, any nation that's being, we control the future, not them. And that's what they hate the most.
Well, they want to take us down to a lower level, bring everyone up to a higher level, and then equalize incomes across the planet. So then it's easier to put everyone under one world government when they're more equal. And so, granted, it's nice to have an electric car because if I'm sitting next to one in a traffic light, I don't smell fumes, right? If I got a big gas guzzling diesel truck F-350 next to me, when he hits the gas, I'm sucking black smoke. It's just kind of the way it is. That's nice. It's nice to have. A lot of the things we do in America are great. Let's keep America as beautiful and pristine as we possibly can. Trust me, it's not far from it. It's a very, very, very beautiful country when you start getting out all over the place. The American West is spotless. It's pristine. It's beautiful out here. You get into the big plastic sea in the ocean that they talk about. This landmass in the middle of the Pacific. That's all this plastic. That's not coming out of American rivers on the West Coast. That's not coming out of the Columbia River. You can go swim in the mouth of the Columbia River, and it's clean. It's beautiful. It's all coming from China. Right, their rivers flow into the ocean. Look at India, man. It's just a trail of pollution.
I've seen that.
Their rivers are just throwing garbage, tons and tons and tons of garbage. They just throw it all in the river. Their holy river, the Ganges, is just filled with garbage.
I mean, they burn dead people on the, when people die, they burn them on the banks of the, Ganges and toss them in.
Yeah.
So
I just have one.
America is very, very clean is what I'm getting to. If you're over here complaining about how dirty America is and that we're the problem, you're barking up the wrong tree, man.
I agree.
Greta, you're barking up the wrong tree when you're over in Europe complaining about global warming. Go to Africa, go to China, go to, all these emerging countries and yell at them because they're the ones that need to do something about it.
Yeah.
Problem is they can't.
I only have one thing to say. In conclusion, you were talking about the global warming scam, the green scam. This is what everybody needs to understand, in my humble opinion. Let's just say the green scam thing fails and everybody rejects it worldwide. That's not going to stop these people, these globalists that lean left, they're radical leftists, from having a boogeyman, from having some sort of, catastrophic threat that enables them to have us give up our rights and give up our freedoms, to give up our prosperity. They're always going to have a boogeyman. So it could be terrorism. It could be a scamdemic. It could be, a cyber pandemic. It could be one of many things, but this is how they operate, through fear and fear alone.
Yeah. Well, that's how you get a Greta Thunberg to go out there and start screaming bloody murder. You got to scare the living crap out of them first, Do you think
she believes any of this stuff, or do you think she's just a pawn? Because I kind of think she's a pawn, but maybe she's just not that smart.
I think she's woken up quite a bit over the last few years, you know what I mean? But when she first started, when she did that whole "how dare you" speech, I think she believed every word of it. Yeah, but now she's not even really talking about it, and she's willing to fly down to Gaza to do some flotilla or whatever. And, I think her days of being the staunch environmentalist are kind of going away because, A, nobody cares as much anymore. But B, I think she's starting to wake up to it a little bit too, that it's maybe not the urgent thing that she was told it was when she was 14 or 15 and dropped out of school to start all this stuff.
But would it be fair to say that maybe she's doing it because it's lucrative financially for her? I don't know that that's true or not, but I'm just guessing that's probably the case.
Apparently, allegedly, her dad is very much involved in all this stuff behind the scenes. He's always there with her and whatnot. And if there's a buck to be made, I think he's figured that out, and he's trained his daughter well, and they go out together as a team and make some pretty good money doing it,
The way you say that just sounds so sketchy, man. But you're probably right, I think.
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, sketchy, whatever. They found a niche little market that her daughter can, step right into and be the, semi-autistic, what's that sort of, Pat, version of a blistering idiot child who really, truly believes that her life has been ruined and she's lost her childhood. She lost her childhood because of global warming. And you live in Sweden, mind you, where it snows every year. You don't, did you miss a winter somewhere in there and that's how you lost your childhood? And, gosh, I don't get it, how you missed out on your childhood. My Lord. You were that obsessed with it, or you just were fed that line from Daddy and read it and practiced it in front of the mirror 100 times, More passion, darling, more passion.
Trump just tweeted out, where's the global warming now with this big storm that came through? So, I mean, I would say, record low temperatures. It doesn't feel like global warming to me.
It's climate change, guys. It's climate change. Stop calling it global warming.
Sweeping across 40 states, 200 million people, Yeah. What is it? 1 billion people had outages and so forth. It's a pretty big storm. Maybe not the biggest, but in the top probably 3 or 4, they were saying something like that.
Yeah. Well, it was one of our lead stories last week when you were bracing for it. So how hard did it hit you?
Actually, not too hard. We got kind of let off easy. We had 1 day of snow, and it was about 8 inches, but we didn't get any more after that. We were supposed to keep getting more. It didn't happen. We were supposed to get a bunch of ice. That didn't happen as well. So I think it was less severe than they had predicted.
8 inches of snow for Oklahoma is a good amount, though. So you're pretty far south. Yeah.
We've had blizzards here before. I mean, it's been a while, but sure. We can get bad weather just like any. But it happens. The climate changes. Period. It always has ever since it existed.
The climate changes. Boy, go figure.
Hey, climate change. Well, duh. The climate does change. Amazing.
Yeah,
what a miracle.
It's crazy here because the sky turned all orange to the west, and now the whole sky is getting dark. I don't know if you've ever seen anything like that. It's horrifying. It's crazy. It's just like it's getting darker and darker by the minute here.
Yeah, and then that sun's going to burn out, they say, in 1 billion years. So we got that to be concerned with as well.
Yeah, it could be pitch dark here in like an hour if it's scary. So anyway, Donald Trump had a bit of a celebration in Washington, D.C. today for the TrumpAccounts.gov website, TrumpAccounts.gov. Every child born between January 1st, 2025 and December 31st, 2028 will be eligible for $1,000 from the Treasury Department to start their own account. Then the parents and family can put in up to $5,000 additional money in the first year, and then $2,500 a year thereafter until they're 18, which at that point, the child would be eligible to access the funds. Now, folks, I want you to think about, you got your first job, you didn't think much of it, a few years into it, you started making a little bit of money, so you got your 401k. And you started putting, a few $1,000s a year into it. 20 years later, wow, you got a lot of money. If they max those things out, that is $56,000, somewhere in that range. That is before they invest any of it. And I mean, if I had an investment pool when I was growing up, I remember sitting in a computer class at I don't know, the early 80s, where my teacher, we were all learning on apples on Macintosh, and he said, you guys, if any of you can do it, go home and buy some stock in Apple. You'll be really happy you did. And I mean, if I'd have put, I don't know, $5,000 of my $15,000, $10,000, into Apple when I was 12, my Lord, I'd be loaded today. Imagine how much money that could mean for kids. Certain times in your life, really kind of obvious big bets happen. You see a Google come up, you see a Microsoft, you see an Apple start, and you think, wow, this company's got a future. They're right at the cutting edge of this new technology. Let's invest in that. I mean, by the time you're 20, you could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Sounds
it's
good.
An incredible thing that they're putting together here. And of course, as soon as he's out of office, which is why it just expires to, the end of 28, they'll do away with it. They'll get rid of it. So there'll be a small window of kids that will be able to take advantage of this, but there'll be the Trump kids, and they'll be the ones that turn 18 and they all can go out and buy a nice car and still have money left over to maybe put a down payment on a house, the Trump kids, the special ones. So that's a big thing. But Nicki Minaj was there. And she announced that she's Donald Trump's #1 fan, and she doesn't care what the haters say. She loves kids. She loves these accounts. She loves Donald Trump. And the more you hate on her, the more she's going to love Donald Trump. So Nicki Minaj had her say, for what it's worth.
Yeah. Good for her, man. Glad she's come out and spoken out. That's great.
Yeah. And what do you think about the funds? I mean, I think it's a great idea.
Well, it doesn't match what the liberals have said about Trump. They've said that he's basically going to shut down Social Security. We're not going to have any Social Security. He's going to end Social Security, all that kind of stuff. This is taking it to the next level, right? And I think you probably meant when the Democrats get back in power, they'll do away with it. Because I think if we get another MAGA president, which hopefully we will, they'll continue and extend it.
Of course. If I said otherwise, I apologize. Yes, of course. I meant when the Democrats take power, they get rid of this. Easy.
Yeah.
J.D. Vance will kick it in high gear.
I think so. And I mean, it's just, it's part of what Trump was talking about, I think, when he said we want to get people into homes and be able to buy their first car. And, that would be a good down payment for a home. What I'm saying, if you, especially like if you're, what you said, investing it and doing so wisely. And then, of course, Trump has passed a law or signed an executive order. I can't remember the whole extent, but essentially we're going to be able to get those small cars that China makes that range from $4,000 to like $14,000, which will make it more affordable for people to get into a brand new first car much easier
Uh-huh.
and less expensively, right? Because under Biden, they wouldn't let that happen because of emissions, right? The smaller cars have stricter emissions than the bigger cars, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. And I just want cars that or trucks and stuff that you can just work on, that they're simple. We don't need all the extra fuel injections and all that crap. Just give me a car that, like, anybody with basic mechanical knowledge can take it apart, put it back together, and fix any part of it in an afternoon. You know, that's what a lot of people want out there. Something that, like, yeah, it's just bulletproof, because even if it breaks down on the side of the highway, you go to the first Napa Auto Parts and you can get everything you need to rebuild the whole engine. You know, it'll cost you $80 in parts and a day of labor.
You think maybe we're coming back to a simpler time where, you know, some of these, not everything has to be super high tech, because with the high tech comes a lot of spying and control. So maybe there'll be some manufacturing out there where people just say, hey, I just want a bare bones system like it used to be. And then if the car breaks down, I can fix it myself.
Exactly. I mean, you know, you don't even need to, like, spend more than a few days on YouTube to really learn how an engine works. You know, and then, you know, you've got all the knowledge at that point. And if you do have a major situation where you got to take out the entire, you know, crankshaft or whatever, there's videos that'll show you how to do it in great detail, where you can't really screw it up, you know, and it's a learning experience. Once you can rip your engine apart and put it back together in a couple hours, boy, the world's your oyster. You can drive it to Alaska and back and throw some spares in the trunk, and you're good to go if anything happens. I mean, that's what I think a lot of people want out there. Just reliable, cheap, you know, vehicles that will go forever and ever and ever. And I know Toyota's come out with a truck just like that, and it's really modular. It's very modular, so you can, like, flip it into, like, an RV. You can flip it into a truck. You can put a bed on it. You can put, you know, a cab on the back with more seating. You can do all kinds of stuff like that with it. It's very flexible like that, which is great. I'd love that.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see the power return back to the people instead of being in the hands of just the corporate elite and so forth. You know, I just would like to see that. I'm 100% on board with you. I think sometimes simplicity is the best.
Yeah. You don't want to. I mean, if you've got to take it to a skilled, you know, engineer or a PhD to get your car tuned, you kind of overshot the target here.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Well, those digital machines that analyze things, those are, I don't know, they're thousands of dollars, man. So you and I couldn't afford them. I don't even know if we could buy them. I think you have to be, like, certified to be able to even buy one. So they've set it up to where, you know, you can't do it yourself. And that's, in my opinion, on purpose. We've got AI now, which you can just use your phone, turn on the actual camera portion of your phone and point it at whatever it is that you're doing. And AI will talk you through a situation.
Yeah.
That's how
it's
AI. Well, no, I'm just saying certain things can do that with, right? I've seen it on YouTube where they're coaching them on how to fix this or whatever, like a plumbing problem or what have you. It does have knowledge about things, maybe not everything yet, but eventually you could just fix your car simply by having your AI phone turned on and it instructing you how to do it step by step.
Yeah, I had an issue with my car a while back, and I asked AI about it, and I had a long conversation with it, and we were convinced that, you know, I was on the right track with it, and I got it to a mechanic, and I wasn't going to tell him it was AI. That I told him I had an uncle I was on the phone with, you know, who knows cars, and, you know, I'm not going to tell him I was on with Grok. But it turns out what we were talking about was just a complete waste of time. It had nothing to do with the issue I was having.
Well,
you know?
the difference of what I'm talking about is it's not just a direct conversation where you're explaining it to the AI, but you're letting it look at the situation. It's analyzing it because it can see what's going on. It can look and see that there's a crack. Like, I've uploaded photos of, like, something that broke, and I said, how can we fix this? And it was on par. So that's a little bit different, just discussing with AI. And I'm not saying actually at the point where I would fully trust it, but we're getting close to that point to where it could do that.
I always go to AI very optimistic, and I always walk away very pessimistic. It always lets me down. It always just seems to suck. I don't know. I've yet to have a really good experience with AI, with one exception, but I don't want to get into that. It had to do with customer support from Starlink. When Grok took over, it was much better than when the people were running it.
Wow, it's interesting.
But no, Chuck Schumer is about to shut down the government. Next time we come back, Barry, the government will likely be shut down. They want to defund ICE. Okay, they really can't do that because the big, beautiful bill already funded ICE. So they're going to try to shut down Department of Homeland Security, right? So they're just going to block all of DHS because like 10 billion of it or something goes to ICE, and so they're going to shut down the TSA. FEMA is going to be like gutted if they keep going. So if we have any sort of a big tragedy like we just had with the storm and FEMA needs to get involved, they'll be shut down as of next week or next probably few days. So keep that in mind. You know, if there's people out there who lost their power and suddenly after the storm clears, if you're looking for FEMA, the Democrats might have just shut that down. So it might not be there for you.
That's terrifying.
For what it's worth. Yeah,
they're demonizing themselves. They're demonizing themselves to the public. They're showing just how rotten they are. I mean, I hate the idea of, you know, leaving us vulnerable like that. But on the other side of things, it's probably going to wake up a lot of people. I mean, a lot of people are going to say, man, what is wrong with the Democrats? They literally hate the people. They're dangerous.
You know, they went through this big let's defund the police thing, you know, a couple of years ago, and then had to back down off that because it was shown to be just total lunacy and stupidity, right? So they backed down off that. Now it's let's defund immigration and customs enforcement. Get rid of completely whole cloth immigration and customs enforcement. That's their new hill to die on. So, I mean, how is that any more or any less idiotic than shutting down every police department in the country?
I think there's a study that just came out showing, or a poll that just came out showing that like 60% of the population want all illegal immigrants deported. So it's not just the criminal ones. I mean, they're all criminal because they're here illegally. But so, and again, I don't know that I feel that. I don't necessarily feel that strong about that. You know, I want the bad ones gone. I don't want anybody else coming in. And if they're milking off of our government and stealing our funds, yeah, maybe they do need to be the other ones that aren't violent, but they're just not helping. They're making things worse. Maybe they need to be deported too. I mean, it's a tough
the system. That's a you got to go. But if they're out working hard and just being good people, and you know you meet them sometime and they make it like, you know, they're just good people, they're good neighbors, and they should stay. Absolutely, I love it. But you know, I don't know. I'm not going to go actively looking for them. Let's put it that way. But folks, we are clear out of time. Hate to do it. Bullhorn Barry, thanks so much for coming out tonight. We always have such a great show with you. And folks, we will see you on Sunday night. For now, stay tuned for more from DREAGUS Productions right after these messages.
All right, guys, you're awesome.
Why did that go so fast, dude? That was the fastest 2 hours yet.
I'm telling you, it gets faster and faster as we go along, it seems. And I don't see anything wrong with that, you know.
We were at a point probably tonight where we could have done one of our marathon 3-hour shows.
Yeah, I'm gonna take and get Jack going, and I will catch up with you guys later on. Take care. Have a great night. And stick around, folks. If you're out there, we have more to come.
Hi, Mike.
All right.
See you later.
All right. Bye. All right. That was Censorship Sucks. Now, coming up is the Paranormal Intelligence Agency with Jack Carey. I'll get Jack up and rolling here in just a minute or two. While we're on commercial break on the radio side. Hello, hello, hello. How are you doing, Jack?
Yeah, I've been a little under the weather, but I'm here. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, I don't know if you caught my message about Nancy or not. I don't think she's going to be able to do her show tonight.
Yeah, I won't be able to fill in on that because I've got to go to the store after this anyway, to the farm.
I'll talk to the folks there and see what's going on. I'm sure we'll still have something going. All right?
Yes, one of them's got to have a subject that they're chomping at the bit to talk about.
Yeah, near and dear to. I'm sure it'll most likely be Roger or one of those other folks in there.
Sure. Sure. Roger the Dodger.
That's right.
So,
Fix our review.
how are things?
Things are going good here. Did you get pretty cold up there? I know it's always cold up there at this time of year, anyways. But we caught some snow and ice down here. It's almost gone, but we're supposed to get hit again at the end of the week. They said it's not supposed to be as bad. We'll see.
Right.
I believe the weatherman kind of like, well, sometimes some intel reports.
Yeah, I know. Weathermen get to keep their job no matter how wrong they are.
Yeah, you couldn't make it as a weatherman in Vegas, though.
That's funny. I used to make fun of the weatherman and when I lived in Hawaii because I could have swore he taped one show and they just replayed it on a VHS tape every morning.
Yeah.
Because the weather was identical every single day. There was no change.
We got the Great Conspiracy restreaming us right now on the video side. Oh, you didn't send me the keys and codes, so we'll work on that. We'll work on that for next month, which will be next week.
Okay.
Which would be a good time to start that too.
Yeah, love to get that to you. So.
Yeah, and we got Wobbly and Jaso and the Kick Chat. We got Great Conspiracy over there and a bunch of other folks. Welcome in, folks. Jack Carey's getting ready to do some cryptozoology and cryptocurrency stuff for us.
It's the world of the cryptos. Kind of doing a free-form show tonight because it's been a rough week to try to prepare a main topic, so I will be kind of floating from topic to topic.
Yeah.
But that's all right.
Well, we got roughly about 30 seconds, and you'll be live and on the radio side then, for sure. Wobbly's like your background. That's kind of a standard thing for teams with us.
Oh, the background I have.
Yeah. Here's your countdown, Jack. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you are live and back on the radio side right now.
Welcome back, everybody, to Paranormal Intelligence Agency Radio Live. As always, we're broadcasting from 300 feet deep in an abandoned nuclear missile silo, somewhere lost in the post-apocalyptic wastelands of the Dakota Territories. And as always, I'm joined by the paranormal crime-fighting duo, Daisy and the Sundance Kid. We do have 2 new members of the security team, but they are upstairs resting. They're up on another level of the silo. Had a hard day today, so I've got our usual crime-fighting duo in the house. Today, circling high above us, we thought it was Mothman again, and then it ended up being one of those Amazon drones. So it wasn't a cryptid animal at all. But that's okay. We shot it anyway. And, it's awfully strange that we live in a world, an emerging sci-fi world where things can be delivered like that. But it's been a crazy week. A long week for your host here, Jack Carey. Lots of just peripheral stuff going on, life type stuff going on that have been, it's one of those weeks where it's just totally hectic and tough to sort of focus in on any one main theme that sort of popped up this week, so I thought we'd touch on a number of memes. And last week we were sort of, touching on where we were in 2025, ending 2025, going into 2026, and the continuation of the turbulence and the chaos really doesn't do any good to try to avoid any sort of political discussion. It sort of bleeds into every, aspect of our beings right at the moment. But we're obviously seeing lots and lots of chaos take place across the country. Why, I'll never understand. I'll never understand why people who are protesting ICE aren't actually protesting their congressmen instead, because it's the congressmen who have the power to change the immigration law, which is what brought ICE there to begin with. Right? Just makes logical sense. That's where the math adds up. Because the way that it's being conducted right now, the math doesn't add. And showing up to a bunch of ICE agents trying to impede their progress, getting in their way, people getting shot, the whole thing, that's just pure madness when those ICE agents have zero power other than to report to work as told or be fired. And they're there actually executing a rightful law which the people of this country passed. Period. If you don't like the law, change the law. I've had numerous policemen tell me that exact same thing. If you don't like the law, Jack, change the law. So that would be my advice to the American public going forward. Step out of the way, let them do their thing. The problem really isn't in just allowing all of these people to remain here after Joe Biden committed treason by opening our borders completely with absolutely no vetting of anyone. And, there's many states, counties, areas in this country where it doesn't require hardly any proof of citizenship to vote in this country. Where do you think all of those Democrats were getting all of those votes from? And now they're seeing their voting base slowly being deported out of this country, and they are absolutely frothing at the mouth, knowing that all of those illegal votes are going bye-bye, and probably with it, their abilities to maintain power in this country. That's the playbook. You open the border, you let in tens of millions of people, you give them as much free stuff as possible, and you buy their vote. And what you would do in the case of Joe Biden, where you let in that many people, that many millions upon millions upon millions of people, is what you attempted to do was cut your countrymen's throats forever. The Republican Party would never have won another election for the foreseeable future when you got 20 million illegal voters all voting Democratic every single time, because they know the Democrats will eventually give them amnesty. And nobody will ever convince me that that wasn't the playbook from day one. And if that was the playbook from day one, then the motive was to sneak up behind the Republicans' backs and cut their throats forever. That is tantamount to saying to your countrymen, we are no longer interested in being your countrymen. And if that doesn't get you as close to a real civil war in this country, you're kidding yourself. So that's my little political diatribe today. There's no way to really get around facing the facts. And, you know, let's face it, yeah, there's a lot of hardworking, decent people that just wanted to come to America, find a job, and try to support their family. There's a whole other side of that coin, right? Where is the responsibility of all of those people that just walk across the border illegally to remain in their home countries and fight to make it a country that worth living in? A country where future generations of their countrymen will want to live. In other words, in these South American countries, where are their founding fathers? Where among any of them is a dedicated group of people willing to sacrifice everything to secure the freedom for their people? Because when millions of them can just walk across the border, it becomes a political pressure valve that allows for no change at all in South America. You cut that pressure valve off and you cause those people to stay place, and they will eventually explode into something like Iran, and they will change their circumstances. So that's really where that's at right now. And all of that's playing out right before our eyes, kind of at the same time that the web bot is predicting the emergence of sci-fi world, same time that the cyber prophecies, as I refer to them, which is a convergence of really artificial intelligence based with advanced data trend language analysis algorithms based with Vedic astrology and many other ancient disciplines all coming together, pointing in the same direction. And this is where they point, and this is kind of where, you know, this is what I cover on this show. So they're pointing to, and what's playing out on a major level, if you've been paying attention, is the fact that silver is quickly on its way to becoming unobtainium, as predicted. That word was actually used by the webbot when it produced those reports. And if you give me one quick second here, let's look up and see what's happening in Beijing as we speak. So if you haven't been watching the last few days in the silver market like us silver freaks do, you got to see the price of silver go through 100 like it was made of wet paper towel. No resistance at all. Right through it, right? And then it just kept going. Sometimes you think that, you know, once you hit a resistance point like that and you blow through it, you'll eventually hit another one and you'll have a little dip like this. And that's profit taking. Natural. Guy just made 60% of return. He's going to take some money. He's got to show his wife, hey, here, I'm paying the bills, right? So he sells some silver. And that happens. And it went down a little bit. These guys took it up to $117. They sold it down the same day. $14 an ounce all the way back to $103. And right now, as I look at the price, and this is trading overseas, we're above $117 again and 26 cents. Tell me that's not going to break the high of 119 that was just set today. They gave it their all. Every short contract they could throw at it, every dirty trick they could play, every margin hike, and they hiked it 49% in a day. If you had a silver position and it was on margin, today they said, we know what, we need 49% value of your position in cash deposited today, or we're liquidating you. Let's say you got a $3 million position. You're fully allocated. Where are you going to come up with another, $1 million just to send over to them so that they feel secure about your position? That's what you're talking about. When you hike the existing margin that high on existing positions that are already on margin, those dudes either have to come up with enough money to cover the difference in the margin hike, or they have to sell their positions. So they were forced to sell. This was a purely planned attack on those margined long positions. And they were able to just wipe them out down to $103. And then here, right again, as we're speaking, almost like it didn't happen at all, silver is back to $117 and change and climbing as we speak. And if you follow some of the best silver technical analysts anywhere out there in the world, and by analyst, I'm not talking about the guys that are just like analyzing the macro reports that get published and stuff like that. And yeah, that's important. My point is, as a technical trader, is if you have properly designed metrics, all of that information that's peripheral, that's out there, that's factoring into the price will be detected by those metrics without you having to involve yourself in the consumption of hundreds of articles of information every day. And that's what I do, and that's what other technical analysts do, right? So when it comes to silver, these technical analysts are saying that when you break 125 and you're approaching 118 right now, the next metric, technically speaking, that should on a Fibonacci projection show some resistance will be right around $333. That's becoming completely unobtainium. At that point, they predict that it will kind of trade sideways at 333, 3 to 400, right in there for a bit of a prolonged period before it spikes upward again into the many 4 digits. So you're talking about, and if you're looking for an exit on silver, most of those experts are looking at the silver to gold ratio. Right now it's priced at 16 to 1. 16 pieces of silver to 1 piece of gold. As it's pulled out of the ground, it takes as much effort to get 16 pieces of silver as it does 1 piece of gold. That was the historical past. Now it's 6 pieces to 1. And that's not been reflected in the price whatsoever. at a time when there are multiple huge financial institutions that are short the metal by millions and hundreds of millions of ounces. Hundreds of millions of ounces simply aren't there, even though they've been sold out on paper contract to clients. So, you know, when you see these days and it's oh my God, it jumped from, you know, I literally watched it go from $109 to $117 in like an hour. Couldn't believe it. Parabolic move, right? And then it turns around and it dumps back down to $103. Well, a lot of people would panic during that situation. We hit the top, dump it, you know. No, you're not even close to the top. And you're going to see this kind of price action the whole way up, all the way till you get into those mid 300s. And even then, you might say it's just barely getting fairly priced at that stage. But the ratio should be much higher. And as gold is going higher, and gold is going higher, much, much higher from its present level, closed at 5,300 an ounce. Technically speaking, and this is an interesting point to put out, is it took an immense amount of buying pressure, right? From pushing it to 2,500 to 5,000 an ounce, right? 100%. It only takes 20% of that same buying pressure to push it up to 6,000. And then from there, it only takes, 18% pressure to push it to 7. Then 15% to push it to 8. And my point being is that every 1,000 it gains in price, the amount of buying effort to gain that another 1,000 goes down and down and down. Because the percentage it takes to move it up $1,000 goes down and down and down. So you could be seeing gold somewhere in the $24,000, $25,000 range easily within the next year. Imagine what that does to the price of silver. The ratio stays the same. You'd be seeing silver in the very high four-digit range, high enough that it would really sort of constitute a once-in-a-lifetime generational wealth flippening. The wealth would flippen from the banking institutions into the hands of the people that have been stacking physical metal all these many years and who have been called idiots. Isn't that amazing how the universe works like that? Loves just to explore every little nook and cranny of possibility. Make the guys that are on top look like total morons, and the guys on bottom eventually become the kings. It's that kind of a thing. It's crazy. And if you're a follower of, Bitcoin and Ethereum, have a big spokesman out there named Tom Lee, who owns BitMine Immersion Technologies. It's a DAT, a digital asset treasury company, of which there are becoming numerous. And, he was on CNBC this morning. Oh my God, I have to hold my nose every time I watch CNBC because the personalities of the people that are on there are so utterly New York toxic that one can barely take the stench through the TV screen. However, they do have quite a few quality guests on there that are worth listening to, and Tom Lee, the Wall Street super whiz kid, was on there, and he was talking about Ethereum and Bitcoin and the bull case for them coming over the next few years. One interesting development was Charters Bank, which is a huge banking institution, this last week put out an article stating that their price prediction for Ethereum by 2030, that's 4 years, 40,000 a token. 40,000 a token in 4 years. And today you can buy it for 3. That's what we're talking about. And the cyber prophecies led us here for a very good reason. But I firmly believe that, there are powers that work that are out there in the world that are sort of awakening the right people to this opportunity at the right time in order to obtain a degree of the kind of wealth that's necessary to cause the right kind of change in the future going forward. And that's going to require lots and lots of different kinds of change. If you are trading crypto or Ethereum right now, it's a very strange time. We're literally just now getting past the October 10th liquidation event, which was the largest recorded in human history in any market. And yet the crypto market survived it. Not only survived it, but now there's signs that it's re-blossoming again. Leveraging is beginning to restructure again, and that was what had led everything to these multi-year all-time highs. So you're beginning to see the sort of legs get back underneath the crypto market at a time when you're probably going to have a lot of risk on asset type of stuff being buoyed by precious metals. The weirdest combination, but it's something I had recommended many, many months ago, and I am absolutely no financial analyst, but I can analyze information. So, yeah, going forward here, crypto is going to feature more and more prominently in your lives, and so is the continuation of the revealing of secrets. And because this is the age of the revealing of secrets, and we're going to get back to a lot of those secrets and how they tie together right after this break.
Great job, Jack. Oh, yeah. So what kind of reports have you been getting in from crypto side? Getting any goodies?
Oh, I get lots of ghost reports, and I don't investigate ghosts, so that's always one of those things where I have to kind of just be gently give them, advice towards asking another colleague of some kind.
Yeah.
What
I always wonder about, the connection between spirits and those the UFO phenomena.
Yes, and there seems to be some sort of very weird connection going on there between the other side and UFOs.
I don't know what happened, but we need to go back on air right now. Like 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome back, everybody, to Paranormal Intelligence Agency Radio Live. I'm your host, Jack Carey, your personal tour guide to the Twilight Zone. I've got a face for milk cartons and a voice for smell-o-vision. And, tonight, I think I saw my face on a milk carton the other day. Not gonna lie. It was either that or a doppelganger, but maybe I've I'm actually missing? Could I be missing in the world somewhere? Wouldn't that be fascinating? Here in the Badlands, the post-apocalyptic Badlands of the South Dakota territories, it's easy to become lost. So to become a desperate hombre out here in the bush. So, but I'm just seeing some intelligence come across the wire here. So yeah, you guys are just absolutely, it's a rocket ship overseas right now on silver. You're at 118 and climbing. So and you heard it here first. I started talking about it way back prior to $50. And I think this is just the beginning of what's going to happen. What we don't know and how this emerges or diverges from some of the WebBot's original Alta reports was that they described like this kind of ultra inflation taking place along with the accruement of and value of like precious metals. So, and we haven't really seen that. In fact, you may even see deflation beginning to take place. So, but this will be a brave new world, and it will be scary for a lot of people. A lot of people haven't been able to sort of prepare or were aware that they should have been preparing for a time when this was going to happen. So there's a lot of reasons for the upward movement. Price of silver, the main reason that facilitates all the others, as a fact, is they simply do not have the metal. They promised through all kinds of derivative contracts that they could deliver vast amounts of silver to various clients all around the world, institutional mainly. And it turns out they just don't have the metal. So if you show up there and stand for delivery and you're saying, hey, I want the physical metal in my possession out the door, they just don't have it to give you. So that's going to cause a huge, breakdown in the COMEX to the point where it may implode that market altogether. And I'm not talking about in weeks, I'm talking about in days. So that's some crazy stuff, right? And a lot of this is interesting stuff because the WebBot predicted that a lot of this economic turmoil is indirectly linked to the United States' deep legacy UFO programs. The idea being that they've siphoned off so much money in order to try to back engineer that kind of technology, just trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars, because let's face it, it's the ultimate holy grail. If you can get that to work and work under your command and do what you want it to do and annihilate any enemy at will from halfway around the world and all that kind of stuff, then yeah, that's the holy grail. Might tuck you into spending a few $1 trillion the taxpayers don't know about. I mean, what they don't know won't hurt them, right? Especially when it's in their own best interest. That's kind of how the government operates. So, a lot of these secrets that are tied to the current economic issues that we are having are going to continue to be leaked by various insiders and scientists and things like that, mainly because the money is running out. And believe it or not, the mechanism by which they have been able to keep this a secret for a really long time is that they pay these people off. And they pay them off handsomely. You know, chief scientist, and you're working for a legacy UFO program, and they're, you know, giving you a paycheck once a month, and it's 150 grand in cash. You know, telling you never have to pay taxes on it, that kind of thing. Those kind of people who are being given access to the most exotic technology humanity's ever got its hands on, and they're getting paid hand over fist. Those kind of people don't give up secrets. They just don't. It's not in their best interest whatsoever, especially when they're dealing with the technology that by all insider testimony would imply something that we would consider to be almost not even real. You know, something that has a power source strong enough to bend space and time around it in a bubble. If you can do that, you can literally create your own realities within the bubble. So, you know, and that leads us into this testimony that we've had a number of times from Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna, who she's head of the commission for the releasing of government secrets that Trump formed, right? Had to do with the JFK documents and the Epstein documents and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, she's been on national news saying that she was taken to a SCIF, a private facility where they house top secret information, and was allowed access to some files in which she was presented evidence that convinced her that obviously not only the craft and the bodies were real, but, and she couldn't elaborate, there was other evidence contained within those files highly suggesting an interdimensional nature to this alien species. That's fascinating because I've got a 1947 FBI memo from the FOIA request stating that they also believed that these so-called visitors originated from another dimension, and that had been caused by our nuclear testing, our early nuclear testing. And what do we have today? We have nonstop obsession by these craft with our nuclear capabilities and bases and submarines and what have you. So, so we're left in a scenario by which we have all of these deep black budget groups that have probably never become known to the American public because of how well they've been hidden, until there's some sort of breakthrough which they simply cannot contain anymore. You know, Representative Luna, in the documents that she read, the scientists equated the craft that they had to somebody going back in time and leaving an iPhone at the foot of a cave of a tribe of cavemen. And then, even though they were smart, intuitive, intelligent cavemen, seeing if they could reproduce it. That's really kind of what they're looking at. And can we reproduce that exactly? Doesn't look like it. Can we reproduce ARVs or alien reproduction vehicles? We can come close. Some of the technology they were able to study gave them super advanced ideas, which they have had breakthroughs on. Doesn't mean that it operates just like the actual craft. The actual craft apparently operates psionically. Psionically is through a psychic interface with the pilot. They're still experimenting with how to do that psionically with a human pilot, and because of that, they have various programs out there in the world trying to recruit psionically advanced children out of gifted programs and school systems basically around the world in an attempt to recruit the best psychics they can to try to operate some of these craft. It's also interesting that some of these craft appear to be so artificially intelligent that they're almost a living type of being, and even seem to be constructed out of some sort of biologic material of some kind. So that's even quite bizarre. If you watch the documentary The Age of Disclosure by Dan Farah, the famous filmmaker, Hollywood producer, bigwig guy, just came out on Prime and a few other sources a couple of months ago. You'll notice that there's one important government official who makes it a very strong point that the aliens were in the oceans. So what I think you're going to begin to see is attention by mainstream media to begin to relay that idea to the public, that these things are somehow living in the oceans. And it's weird that you have scientists like Dr. Gary Nolan, for example, who says that we really have to entertain a notion of protogenesis on this planet. In other words, it's possible that before the great calamity occurred, the big flood, all of that kind of stuff on the planet, there was an extremely advanced human-like life form. Advanced enough that when the planetary changes started to take place, they decided to make their homes in ocean and kingdoms under the ocean where safety could be had. And that makes a lot of sense. If that's the case, then under the protogenesis, theorem, they're not alien by our definition. They're just another human species, really advanced, and so advanced that they're able to keep their presence hidden from us. Why, we don't really know, unless it's out of a sense of just fear. Who knows? Maybe we're just too dangerous. So, all of these sort of lead into each other, and all of these things are going to be emergent coming up really in the next few weeks and few months. We've got a ton of geopolitical risk that's taking place out there in the world. All of that could play into the continuing downward pressure on the dollar, which the dollar, by the way, if you saw that today, just hit its all-time low. If you left your money in a banking account, a savings account, whatever, over the course of the past year, you lost 10% of your global buying value. 10% just vanished. So all of those economic changes that are taking place that were predicted through these different paranormal means also insinuate that you're going to see a changing of our ideas of reality itself. When you sort of break the illusion of the old Babylonian money magic, debt-based fiat currency system, it becomes a lot harder to hide other kinds of secrets. So you could be entering into sort of a golden age where there's a lot more sort of open disclosure over things. Blockchain is going to change a lot of that because blockchain really kind of cuts down on the ability to funnel money to SAP programs and things like that. So, and what else did I have for you guys this evening? Cryptid Corner did have a report come in, which was quite weird. A gentleman was hunting, had his dog with him. They were in the Adirondacks. They had been out for hours. Super remote area. Guy said it felt creepy. Felt like he was being watched, the whole thing. And they kind of came up over a little embankment, and right in front of them was a big flat area, and on the other side of the flat area was a Sasquatch standing by a tree. He said the thing focused on the dog immediately, and he also said the eyes were glowing red, and that some sort of weird twitch or light or something like that all of a sudden happened towards the dog, and the dog sort of whimpered off from the area before this thing turned and ran into the woods. And here again is another one of those major paranormal Bigfoot encounters where how do we begin to explain a creature that has abilities that are like that? And I have to say that that matches my own personal encounter with seeing a Sasquatch up in the Chuska Mountains, where I saw one eye look like a bicycle reflector. When you see it and it's that bright and that glowing, you think, what the hell is a bicycle reflector doing up, a 14,000 foot mountain, boreal mountain that has no roads or trails or anything on it? Like somebody brought a bicycle up here, and all of a sudden the bicycle reflector moved, and an entire head peeked out from behind a tree, and there were two of those red reflectors, and they were the size of my fist, and I realized, looking at the face, that those were the eyes of the creature. That's how big it was. And when it turned to take off, the speed alone put the fear of God into me forever. It wasn't the size, not the appearance so much, but nothing. There is nothing in the woods that should be able to move with that kind of speed naturally. It is, until you see it, you just can't scarcely believe it. So that is an interesting Bigfoot encounter, and it kind of leads us into where Bigfootology is currently. As far as I know, you still have the Expedition Bigfoot guys that are out there. And let's face it, those guys are rocking the best funding that any cryptozoology effort has ever gotten. They're full-time. They can travel at will. They have all the latest equipment. They have all the latest experts. They have EMF tents. They have 12 thermal drones they can send up in one shot. They have an algorithm that tells them exactly where to go and where to be to experience the next encounter. All of that stuff has intelligence agency written all over it. And when you have intelligence agents involved at Skinwalker Ranch also studying the sighting of bipedal cryptid animals from time to time, it's not much of a stretch to consider the fact that they're looking at these creatures in other environments too, trying to understand the connection between the two, right? So, 2026 is going to be one of those sort of, I think, shockingly revelatory years where we're going to see shock after shock after shock come out. And most of them will be the answers to various mysteries or conspiracies. And you have to remember that every time that you have the revealing of a secret, it causes a little mini earthquake in human society. And there's lots of reverberations that take place on those, when that happens. So, cryptozoology is going to have some big breakthroughs. I feel like this will be the year that you see the truth of the death of the fiat currency and the widespread adoption of precious metals and cryptocurrencies. It's funny because as much as the precious metals have gone up over the past few months, only 1% of Americans even own any. What happens to those prices when more like 25-50% own? Right? That's going to be sheer insanity taking place. So, I previously reported it would be a smart idea over the coming months to sort of hunker down at home. Make your home as much of a refuge as you possibly can, a place where you enjoy spending time and being in sort of a meditational state as we're going through all of this, and maintaining mental peace. Because all you can do now is take a day-by-day step in preparation for all this craziness that's about to occur. And, prepare for the worst and hope for the best as we go through these turbulent periods. And I will say, on the other side of this period of the Kali Yuga is apparently, and is reported quite a bit, a new golden age could await humanity. If we can get through all of this without destroying ourselves, it could be that breakthroughs in technology actually create a higher standard of living for human species worldwide in a way that's never been achieved before. So that's also a possibility. And I am a technical crypto trader, so I always have a bullish thesis and a bearish thesis. And you have to wait to see as we go along what type of material events validate this particular model or that particular model. So I would expect here going forward, probably some upward movement in crypto and continued upward movement in the precious metal prices for the foreseeable future. Eventually, there's going to come a big correction, but I think that's going to be a very short-lived kind of event before everything takes off again. And I think it'll stay that way till you have a non-accommodative Federal Reserve, going forward. So, and, going forward, maybe on my other channel, we will be setting up a live feed for the YouTube channel for some of my followers, but maybe on that channel, there will be an extra video too I'll put out. Just basically showing the types of metrics and indicators that we tend to use to show periods when the market's not acting very rational. When it comes down to like trading cryptocurrencies or anything really, markets are highly efficient. That's a theorem that's taught everywhere. The problem is that they're not always highly efficient, and there are periods of time when they become extremely inefficient, and those are the moments when you bet on a return to normalcy. And that's how good traders actually make money. But that's basically wrapping up tonight's show, guys. Let's see here. Trying to think if there's any big events coming up next week. Probably not, but I would continue to watch the silver markets. It's going to be it's a once in a lifetime show to watch every day. You could literally get a gap up $10-$20 before the bell even rings, that kind of a thing. And if she breaks 125, she goes to 333, guys, and then from there the metrics show 4 digits. So can you imagine $1,000 an ounce silver? That would be, that would make an awful lot of silver stackers very, very wealthy. So, join me next week, guys. We will jump down another rabbit hole. I think we kind of summarized where we are right now. There are some new sort of mysteries developing out there in the world that we should take a look at. And we'll get back to it next week. So I will see you then. I'm your host, Jack Carey, and this has been another episode of Paranormal Intelligence Agency Radio Live.
Awesome job, Jack.
Thanks. Cool. Now I've actually got to go to freaking grocery store.
You got to go get groceries?
Yeah, can you believe that after all this? I've just been so busy today.
All right. I'm doing a little transition, like always.
And I feel like crap all of it.
All right. Let me finish this out. And I got to get them up and rolling here in a few minutes. Hopefully, Nancy will be able to come in.
Cool.
But, I seen a message earlier, and I'm like, okay, well, don't drop it on me like last minute. All right, Jack, you take care, and we'll be. Let me get them up and rolling. All right.
All right, sounds good.
All right.
You guys have a
I'll
good
get
night.
this up and out
Okay,
tomorrow.
perfect.
All right. All right, folks. That was Jack Carey, Paranormal Intelligence Agency. Let's go over here to the Vixen's Vault and see what we got. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Looking for David.
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello. Hi, Vicky. How you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. Feeling better.
That's really good to hear. I'm not sure if we're going to have a show tonight or
Okay.
not. I'm trying to see if Nancy's coming in or what's going on with that. I seen a message from her like earlier. Like I got to find out what's going on.
Well, I don't know if you saw it was on from Jason saying, yeah, his time at the Vixen's Vault was over. I don't know if you saw that.
I didn't see that at all. Okay.
Yeah,
and
right, so
let me get Nancy in here and Mark. Where'd Roger go?
I don't know.
I don't know what's going on. I didn't see anything.
If you look on the Legion number 2, there's 1 and 2.
That's why I have not had a chance to see anything from anybody. I'm looking for David Campione too, and he hasn't come in. And Raph.
Because he posted that Jason did at 8:10, and so I, sent a question to Nancy about that.
Okay.
And so I guess
Hi, Mark.
That's why she called you, or texted you, whatever.
Hi.
Nancy's leaving. Okay, well, she's green. I don't know what's going on. Just.
Huh. That's strange.
Yeah.
I just had said in my message back to him that I'm out of the loop. I really missed it. Whatever happened the last 2 weeks. So.
Come on, Nancy.
Yeah,
Come on.
I'm not
Where's
sure
Roger
how yeah, I've spoken to him all day. Actually, I did speak to him.
There's David.
Hi, David. How you doing?
Oh, I'm a little drunk, but I'll survive.
Okay.
You're in perfect form for tonight, I guess.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Hey, how's everybody doing? There's Mark Airworthy and Vicky. Vicky, you feeling okay?
Yes, I feel much better.
I'm trying to get a hold of Nancy. I don't know what's going on other than.
Well, it's cold down there, Mark.
Okay, it's cold.
It's cold. She may not have power.
She's lit up green. I'm like, okay.
Oh, wow. Hey, Vicky, are you okay up there in your area? The snow and cold?
We didn't get any snow, and we really didn't get any ice either. I know it looks like Tennessee, but it's East Tennessee. So.
Okay, well, I guess we're not going to have the show tonight, so I'm going to I'm going to end the stream, all right, on our side. I can't get a hold of anybody, and I don't have anything for tonight, so...
okay.
All right.
Okay. All righty.
So
guess we'll find out.
If you're in Kick, Great Conspiracy, if you're over there, we're going to host over to you. Sorry about I thought we had another show tonight, but what I'll probably do is I'll put on some I'll put something up later on once I take and get through with everything. All right, so let me host over to Great Conspiracy.
Mark, are you okay out there in Texas?
Yeah, I've been pretty good. Let's see here. Stop recording.
I'm going to ask Mark Edworthy. He's in England, and they always have good weather over there.
Actually, I think we actually got the tail end of your last storm. It's been